Yo, this is wild. Hold on, the Discord's booting up. Yo, Xbox trying to shut me down, bro. Microsoft had enough. All this, yo, this, my laptop's been on all day. Why now? Trying to update all this nonsense. This is trash. Hold on, I'm letting the Discord's booting up now. Yo, what's up with this? What's going on here? Let's go. Let's go. I'm sorry for the tardiness, but it's not my fault. Microsoft is fucking with me. There we go. I saw Call Me Jay's already in the room. Here we go. Jumping in. All right, all right. Craig is in here. Y'all hear me?
Yep.
All right.
What's going on, bro? You treating your community like this?
Yo,
you're treating your community like Phil
hold on.
Yeah,
this is
hour late.
No, this is what happens when you have to deal with the Xbox stench. What is happening to me now is going to happen to Activision when Microsoft acquires. You see what I'm saying? It's not my fault, man. Don't let Microsoft acquire
has standards, man.
Listen, man. Microsoft,
all right, don't Phil Spencer your community, bro. Don't Phil Spencer your community.
I should have went with Apple. I'm going Mac. That's it. I'm going Mac. That's it. I'm going Mac. I'm done with this trash. I'm done. This Xbox Microsoft stench. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, damn it. Office 360 is a subscription plan. Can't even buy the sucker. Screw this.
You already have a super chat, bro. He was waiting for you to go live to super chat.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
And not only that, but I can't post things in your Discord, Porter.
I mean, you can't post things in your Discord.
It's got a big. It says you do not have permission
to post things.
To post.
What the hell?
What
you trying to post, dog? What you trying to post?
No. Oh, nothing. This says you don't have permission.
Don't be posting some nasty shit.
I can create a thread.
Let me see. Hold on. Oh,
I can go to every channel except for podcast topics. That's it.
Let's see.
Well, I'm in. Let's see here.
You sure you can't post none?
I promise you. It's like that for the round table too. I think the round table considers me too dangerous. I'm really hating this TV that I have.
I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll check to see.
All right.
I don't know. See why. Call Me Jay. You ever had a problem? I don't think you had a problem.
Nope.
With it.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
You both got the same roles.
Okay. I see the Patreon private chat.
Yeah, I don't even have a Patreon. That's the funny part.
Yeah, Sleep Station.
Okay. Shout out to
Stony. Yeah, early access.
Shout out to Stony. Stony said, Porter Rock, I demand you say this with speed, intensity, and volume. Do you understand me? All right. So he wants me to say this with speed, intensity, and volume. Do you understand me? Okay, here we go. God of War Ragnarok for Game of the Year. I see what he's doing. I get it. I didn't see the last part. Eyes, sir.
What if it doesn't? I mean, I don't think it's going to win.
I got it. So. God of War Ragnarok for Game of the Year. Sir. Shout out to Stony. Those who know.
That's funny, dude.
Oh, that's funny. That's some funny shit. I was like, wait a minute. Oh, I get it now. So shout out to Stony. That one gave me that was worth it. The wait was well worth it, man. But hey, let's get it rolling because I know we're behind schedule, and I want to say, hey, to those of you who are already enjoying God of War Ragnarok unlocked in your region, or you got advanced copy, just know deep in my heart, I'm so happy for you. Like it just brings joy knowing that you guys are playing the game and I'm not. It's great.
When does it unlock on the East Coast? I heard it was 6 o'clock in the morning.
I don't know.
Well,
I think it's midnight.
I don't know.
I think it's a midnight launch.
Is it midnight? I know it's midnight at GameStop.
Yeah,
But
I think electronically it's midnight. It's
okay.
midnight. Yeah, so digitally it's midnight. Cool. But there's some people that have advanced copies. That's one thing I miss about New York. The mom and pop shops.
Yeah,
man. The mom and pop shop, they gave no fucks. You know what I'm saying? So what's funny during the PS2 OG Xbox, I would get games like 2 weeks early, but they would charge $70.
Oh,
and I would pay it. So I guess back then I didn't have an issue with $70 games, but you would get like 2-3 weeks early. I was like, oh hell yeah! But yeah, mom and pops don't play. Oh, here's Blaze Force K.
Wait a minute.
God of War, baby. Shout out with
J Dub. Is that really J Dub?
Where? Who? Where?
The one and only.
Oh my God! Ragnarok is here. Ragnarok is here. He has come to claim his throne. Kratos has came.
Absolutely. On the eve of Ragnarok, your boy had to show up.
And not only that, I know. See, I'm gonna tell you why. Now I'm gonna tell you why.
You know why I'm really here, Puerto Rock.
I know. Because now I can't say one and done.
Facts.
It took Houston to win the World Series for J-Dub to come back to the podcast.
Facts.
I can never tell. He waited 5 years.
Facts. Hey, we had our parade on Monday. I said I'm going to check YouTube every day and see whenever
I was about to block you. I'm like,
facts.
Oh, what it done? Hey, yo, Blaze, if you want to hop out, go through. This is a celebration of greatness.
Facts.
This is a time to celebrate. Oh my God! But hey, I'm gonna say this though. Your team this year is legit. They earned their World Series this year. They earned that shit. They whooped everybody's ass.
Yeah, they took it to Philly.
No garbage cans. No garbage cans needed.
Exactly.
They did it. So you got your one legit World Series without an asterisk.
Oh man!
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? Astros got a legit World Series before Xbox got a Game of the Year. Oh damn!
Absolutely.
Oh damn! That's crazy.
Absolutely.
Oh, change next year. I think Hellblade 2 next year will get nominated.
Oh man, I like this.
Yo, yeah. Who's gonna do what first? Knicks win a championship or Xbox get a Game of the Year?
Oh shit!
Oh
man!
I mean, have you seen them? They are terrible.
I know. That's why I say the Knicks are the Xbox of basketball.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why
they got to the playoffs a couple years ago, didn't they?
I guess.
They had Julius Randle, Kentucky.
Well, they didn't make it last year.
Oh, that's right. They did.
The year before we did, and we only won one game. Like, yo,
that's right.
Yo, Knicks are terrible, bro. Like I said, that's why the Knicks are the Xbox of basketball. It's just terrible, man. We got Game Pass. So, man, Madison Square Garden should just do a Game Pass. Ticket pass subscription. You know what I'm saying? Because they shouldn't be selling no Knicks tickets out in this.
Facts.
Oh, shit. But anyway, yo, J-Dub, man, how you been, man? You excited? Kratos is coming?
Hey, man, I checked out for the last 6 months, man, waiting on Ragnarok to get here.
You left me alone in these streets. I got Faruskin cursing me out on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? I've been accosted.
I want her to have my cinnamon baby. For the record.
Oh man. Hey, but you know what, Puerto Rock?
Hey,
I knew you was in great. I knew you was in great hands. I knew Xbox didn't have no games lined up this year, so I knew you had nothing but lightweights. So.
Yeah, I got the last laugh though. She got fired. So in the end,
that's right. I heard they closed down G4 TV.
They shut the whole thing down. That's what I'm saying.
Damn.
Let that be a reminder to any outlet. Never mess with 60 NFL. FNL.
Hey, so Puerto Rock, what you trying to say? The saying is true. You go woke, you go broke.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh damn. Oh, it's election day, man. Don't start that. It's election day. Oh man. Let me find out you with the red wave. Oh shit. My man J-Dub's like, I'm paying too much taxes. We need to shut your shit down.
Hey man, sometimes you gotta worry about your pocketbook. My bad.
He's like, it's time to bring back the tangerine demon. AKA Trump.
Oh man,
Yeah, it's good to have you back, my brother, man. It's good to be back, man.
It's good. It's been a while, man. I've been missing y'all. Everybody in the chat, man. I miss y'all. You know what I'm saying? I need to get down there and see my brother Craig.
Yeah, man.
I need to get some Kentucky bourbon for me.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he holding out.
Reserve, man.
He holding out that whiskey reserve.
Reserve waiting on you, brother. You know I got a bottle for you.
Absolutely.
He holding out.
Yeah, how y'all been, man? Y'all been good?
No, sure. Of course, man.
Now, you know,
go ahead.
lukewarm. Shout out to Rest in Power to Optimus Code. But yeah, everything's doing all right, man.
Yeah, I heard about that, man. It hit me kind of hard. You know what I'm saying? I mean, y'all know behind the scenes, you know, everything that, you know, we was doing and talking about and stuff. He was just a good guy. And, you know, he just got taken away from us, you know, too quickly, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, rest in peace and shout out to his wife and his wonderful family and, you know, hope they're doing well. But, you know what I'm saying? We're going to keep his legacy alive, you know?
Absolutely.
We're going to keep his legacy alive and, you know, everybody know Code and, you know, he looking down and listening to the podcast right now. So shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to Code, man. Really missed the dude, man. You know, but we're going to make sure we don't put up with the tomfoolery. Like he used to say. No more tomfoolery. Oh, absolutely. Man, that guy was so bad. And he was just starting his channel. He reached 1,000 subscribers mad quick. And I told him, man, like, we needed this knowledge, man. It was rough.
Yes.
It was awesome.
He was he was one of the very few people in the community that not only was a true neutral, right? Because we know he owned everything just like everybody else, but the guy was a developer. It's hard, you know, it's hard for you to argue with a guy who actually made games. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, out of all the T-flops and all that stuff he tried to educate people about, you know, he was one of the first people to tell guys stop running with the whole T-flop thing, right?
Yeah, he was.
He was. And he was spot on, man, because, I mean, here we are 3 years later, 3 years later, and Xbox still ain't got nothing that can compete with, you know, PS4 titles, let alone PS5 titles, so...
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Classic J-Dub.
Absolutely.
That's a good point.
Hey, boys went from repping T-flops to repping Power, to repping RDNA to now they repping services. They don't even mention the console.
No, not even that. They repping value. I never seen. Yo, this is like
this got worse.
They repping value brand. Man. It's like going into Walmart and you grab the Great Value brand. You don't grab, you know, the premium cereal. You grab the Great Value cereal.
Yeah, you don't get the cinnamon toast crunch. You get Mr. Toasties. Yeah, you know what I'm
saying. you get spicy toast. Great Value. Like what the hell? Oh man.
Cinnamon toast squares.
Yeah, you can't break out. You can't break out. You know, the ragu. You know what I'm saying? Don't break out the Prego. You just get the one that says Great Value spaghetti sauce. You know,
brand.
That's it. They value. They double down on that value, man.
Yeah,
like they writing whole articles, you know, actually admitting it. I chose Xbox because of the great value it brings. I'm like, wow, I never heard of that before. Like,
somebody told me that. I said, you paid $500,000 and you saying this is value? Like, not if you pay $500,000.
And then you look at their gamer tags and this is all a bunch of donuts.
Like,
their gamer tags.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, they're starting to hide that. They're now talking about. Yeah, you're right about that. Good point.
Is it true? Somebody told me. It's hard for. I mean, it's not hard for me to believe, but here it is. It's going to be 2023. But somebody told me that Phil Spencer went on record saying Xbox got no games. Is that true?
Yep. He said it was
Yo, that man has been saying that line like every year for like decades. Like I can't remember a year
quote
where he doesn't say that.
His exact quote that he said was, I understand that 2022 was absolute trash for us, and we'll do better 2023.
Oh, man, he said, wait for E3? Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yo,
He emphasized the trash part though. He said, "Yeah, this year was trash."
he didn't know. He really said
That's
that.
what
he
Like,
did.
oh, you fucking with me?
Wow.
Nah, you made it sound convincing
no.
now. You made it sound good. I'm like, wait a minute. I
I'm
know you
pretty
don't
sure
talk
he
like
said
that.
something like that,
Yeah,
but
no,
you know,
but
at the
he
end
just-
of the day,
He did put the host
Yeah.
changed the words. You know, they used
Yeah.
AI to make it seem like he didn't say that, but he
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
But I'll tell you, man, like this God of War release, man, yo, J-Dub, it's getting ridiculous.
Ooh,
The dude's
I know it's
trying
bad.
to dude's
I
trying
know
to
it's
push
bad.
IGN Korea articles.
oh,
They can't even read the damn review, and they out here capping. Like I didn't even
Google
realize
Translate.
there was an IGN Korea out there.
Hey, when
They
somebody
found
sent me a screenshot of Digital Foundry saying God of War is like running on a PC at ultra settings. I said, yeah, that's a wrap. Them bots out of there. They out of there. They finna. It's over. It's over.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's
They haven't
over.
said a word. They have not said a word since that came out, because that's who they were waiting on to say something negative, and when they didn't, it was done.
Well, so they didn't say no data war and no jump button. They would you know, you remember they did that with
Punching the
last
roof of
God
the
War.
dragon,
Yeah.
punching the roof of the dragon's mouth. Remember that? Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yo,
K Mega was saying that shit, and he got beat by Black Baron and Madden like 83-0.
Who?
It's like nothing you say
I remember
matters.
that.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah, just play your games, man. You don't say nothing. You get. I mean, how do you get shut out in Madden? I mean, even if you get beat, you don't get shut out.
Yeah.
He did. He found a way to break the code, because the game literally will not let you get shut out if you're getting beat like that. So, but
man.
you know, but K Mega did.
Yeah.
Well, I was reading the topics of the headline, you know, kind of what we're going to talk about and stuff like that, and
Let's kick
some good topics, man.
Yeah,
Good
let's
topics.
kick off. So before the first topic is gonna be PS5 Slim 2023. Before I preface that though, new info released by MPD. So apparently PlayStation 5 for the US market led hardware and dollar sales for the quarter. So actually, so they beat the Switch. So over the last 3 months combined, they beat out the Switch.
They beat the Switch.
That shit's crazy, dog.
Hey, that's crazy for a console that you can't get. You see what I'm saying?
Like, yo, like, and people
Hey,
still be
that's
like,
crazy.
yo, how you lead MPD and people still be like, well, I can't find
one.
I can't find one.
Yeah.
Like, yo,
Yeah. That system is still like a unicorn. That you know, and I know people, you know, still like, oh man, they still celebrating when they finally are able to get their hands on one. So that's crazy, man.
yo, so-
That tells you once the stock is actually available and on the store shelves. I mean, it's a wrap, man. I mean, they're gonna go back to breaking records and stuff like that. So that's good to see.
Yeah, what's their starting? Well, remember they always said
Hold
they were. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Blaze is in the waiting room, by the way.
oh,
Yeah, you
shit,
can
all right.
continue. I just wanted to let you guys know.
All right, now that's what. No, I'm just. Yeah, they said that they were going to meet. They felt pretty confident they were going to meet their what was going to be like 38 to 40 million by the end of next year. So, yeah, but again, we were told that they were going in the wrong direction. So.
Oh man.
All right, Blaze is in the
I know.
room.
Listen, bro.
We got
Gamers
Blaze.
only know one. They only know one language, and that's gaming and games. So you just provide the games, and it'll sell.
Yeah, like,
That's it.
That's true.
Nobody
Yeah.
cares about services.
yeah.
Who's
Yep.
the one that made that song? No one was an Xbox.
Yeah, shout out to
You
Sick
know?
Humor.
There you go.
Oh man.
Oh shit.
No
So-
services are T
you know what
flat.
I'm saying?
They don't
Yo,
want that shit.
how Sony raised the prices around the world and people still buying
Still
PlayStation
sell
over
out. Yeah.
Xbox.
But that was anti-consumer, and now you got Phil Donomus Spencer saying they going up, and apparently the Switch could
man.
possibly go up.
That's
So,
crazy,
is-
though. That's
the reality
crazy.
is that if you want something, there's no price tag on it. You just buy it. That's it.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I know,
I
but
agree.
Switch
Gaming
though.
is gaming is one of those hobbies where it doesn't matter how much it costs. People want it. They have endless pockets.
But Switch
Endless
is rumored,
pockets.
like
You'll find
Nintendo.
money somehow, and you're gonna buy it.
Yeah, but Nintendo left it on the table that they wouldn't rule out raising the price on the Switch. I'm like, wait, hold up.
Damn.
Yo shit is 5
Wait,
years
what?
old, dog. Like,
Yeah.
stop your bullshit now. Like, your shit came out in
Sony's
2017. Like, yo,
Yeah.
but Nintendo came out in 2000. Switch came out in 2017. That with mobile hardware. Stop playing, Nintendo.
That's
Like,
crazy.
you raising the price for what? Yo.
Exactly.
If Nintendo raises the price on the Switch, that old ass Switch, I could maybe understand the OLED one. Maybe.
Yeah.
But the Switch Lite and the
Yeah.
original Switch, that should be dropping in price dramatically.
Exactly.
Yo, that shit
Yo.
is crazy. Sony, baby.
What up, baby?
I'm
Oh,
telling you,
man.
man. God of
Blaze in the house.
God of War is rounding up all the champions.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Yo,
Hey,
No,
this
they
is
talk
the
my
eve.
God.
This is our Christmas Eve right here. That's what's
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah, what's good with everybody? I hope everybody's, having a good night. Glad to be here. Overdue.
no doubt, man.
Yeah.
Definitely,
Yeah,
definitely,
shout out-
bro.
shout
How's
out
the
to
new
Blaze.
job doing? I know you got a new job and shit.
I'm actually driving there now, so I can't. I figured out. I finessed a way to bring my PS5 in a 4K monitor. So I told my boss, I was like, "Yo, I can't. Do you want me to call in sick?" He's like, "Why would you tell me that?" I'm like, "Cause I'm gonna call in sick." He's like, "No, why? What are you gonna do?" And I said, "This game's coming out." He's like, "All right, so bring your PlayStation." I'm like, "Word." I'm like, "Save lives." So
Oh man,
That's
Yeah.
true.
what I'm talking
That's
Yeah.
a true
about. That's
war
the kind of
horse.
bosses
That's
we need.
a war horse. That's not a pony. Blaze is a
Honesty.
war horse. He literally told his
Right.
boss, "Listen, I got 10 days of paid sick leave. I'm gonna use it right now."
Mhm.
because I never call in sick, you know what I mean? And like he actually watched he found out about the podcast, you know what I mean? Because somebody snitched on me. But you know what I mean? But it's all good. I do IT and like I'm done at like 12 o'clock anyway, so
Yeah.
it's gonna work out anyway.
Oh, that's what's
Hell
up.
yeah.
Oh shit, man, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, everybody. But what's even impressive, your boss is like, "All right, bring your PlayStation." Like, there's no fighting.
that's
it.
cool.
Like
Yeah, that's
there's
cool.
no fighting it. You will submit to Kratos.
Why have me stay home for what? Like I can still accomplish my work,
Yeah.
and then because I work 10 o'clock to 6 in the morning, so I'm like, yo, let me just do my thing, bro. Like,
Let me live. Let me play this greatness, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh,
Yeah,
this shit
cool,
is
that's cool.
crazy. Oh man, but welcome aboard, man. I'm glad you're here and stuff like that. But let's hit up the first topic, right? So, rumor PlayStation 5 Slim. Actually, rumor has it that Sony plans to release this sucker 2023. Now, it's not actually a Slim, but it's their redesigned model where it's pretty much like the old digital one, but it will have an expansion slot or an expansion bay where they will separately sell the disc drive, and if you want it, you could buy the disc drive separately. So chances are this is the model that's going to be $399. And then the bay will cost whatever, $70, $80, $90, even $100, whatever. But
no
rumor has it,
enhancements, right?
this is it. What?
but there's no enhancements to the actual.
No
hardware
enhancement.
itself.
So this is just one of their redesigns. So pretty much, I
Save space and components.
So in my vision, and I'll start off with Blaze, right, and then we'll go down the line. But in my vision, I think Sony's gonna stop producing the two consoles that they have now, which is the all digital and the physical, in the thing. Those are gone, so they stop producing those, or they're about to stop, and they're gonna go with this one model because they're able to produce more of this model as compared to the previous two, which allows them to get more into the stores. It's probably cheaper to build. And it also satisfies those that be like, no, I want my physical. Well, then you could buy the disc drive separately, right? And probably one of the advantages of a disc drive separately is they can have the responsibility off of their, manufacturers who do the DVDs and Blu-rays and all that stuff. So I would imagine those guys are the ones building that.
Yeah.
Their factories are just strictly building a console, and that's probably how they're projecting that they're going to get an increase in production and get more consoles. Because let's be honest, man, everybody wants this motherfucker. Like, this shit is crazy. Like, every year seems like a launch for a PS5.
Yeah.
So what do you think about it, Blaze?
now.
What do you think about
Have
it?
one.
I agree. It's definitely to save space, to save components, save cost. Shrinking of the dies and stuff like that. They're able to get more wafers and produce more units. And so think about it. We're going on 3 years in what, a month?
Yeah.
It's going on 3 years since this console has kind of been on the market. So
It came out in November.
Well,
didn't it?
November, yeah. Well, it came out this month. It came out this month.
Yeah.
In fact,
Yeah, November
2
dance.
days?
Yeah.
What was it? 10 November? Was it or some shit like that?
Hey, 2 years or 3 years?
It's 2 years, really.
I don't know.
It'll be the third
yeah.
holiday, but it'll be 2 years.
Right.
Yeah, 2 years. Yeah.
It came out the 12th of November.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just say this about the PS5 console. I honestly love the design, but when you look at it in terms of like them creating custom consoles, it's flawed in many ways, because if all they were gonna do, if they made a God of War custom edition, right, is make the faceplates different. It's a hard sell, because it's like, you know what I mean? It's just faceplates. You know what I mean? So I think in terms of that, it's, you know, and listen, I'm carrying this shit to work a couple times a day, and this shit is big and heavy, man. I'm telling you right now.
It's big
you know, it's not meant to be moved around, but I'm with a redesign. Absolutely.
I took it on the. I take it with me whenever I go on Tripworks. I got a whole dedicated carry-on luggage just for that thing. And TSA be looking at me like, they're like,
yeah, but is this made for the PS5, or is it just like a
no, like the regular carry-on luggages you get?
Wow,
that shit takes up the whole thing.
Yeah, it does.
You know, you usually have a carry-on luggage, for some underwear and all that stuff, just in case your luggage gets lost. I can't do that. Now, boy, if my main luggage is lost, oh well, I got my PS5.
Look, what I do when I travel, I have this thing called the Poga Lux. And it's basically a briefcase that has a built-in monitor in it, and it's designed to have two dual sensors in it and your PS5. It has USB ports and all that stuff.
Yeah, you probably got your own private plane too, though.
Hey, man. Hey.
Jacob, link me that ASAP.
I got you, brother. I got you.
J-Dub
is your DM, Blaze.
J-Dub's in his G5.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I had a very old one of those, and they're pretty cool.
Oh,
yeah.
But I think but I think not only potentially quicker, but now Sony could probably potentially just say, hey, our PS5 is officially just $400. Because if they get rid of all the other models, it's $400. So
it's $399.
That was their plan.
Yeah.
That's been the plan from the jump, is to do the redesign and then cut out the disc, which hurts me because I'm a physical guy. And that does hurt, but I understand.
But it's separate though, so technically they didn't cut it out. If you really want it, hey, just buy it.
Yeah, you have to buy it a la carte, which is I was about to say that you just have to buy it a la carte. It'll probably be it's so easy,
and it might be cheaper.
$99
because they might sell it for $79.
They might, but let's be honest, it'll be $99.99.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right though. We wouldn't be able to get it on direct or something like that for $20 off. There's no doubt. But that's been what they've been wanting to do in the first place. So and it makes sense to me. I don't know about 2023. I think mid 2024, but it wouldn't shock me. It's a rumor though. I had to turn it into
plausible.
It's a plausible explanation, like, hey, look, we, like you said, Porter Rock, they now sell the console for $399, and then with the a la carte Blu-ray to for it's still whatever $400, but
But the reason I bring that up because timeliness. Sony had their quarterly report, and they're very confident in saying that they will meet the 18 million, and that production is going to improve. So I know one doesn't necessarily mean evidence. It's just the timing of it all at the same time, Like each individual story is in its own thing, but when you put it all together, it kind of makes sense. So like Sony's pretty much confident that they're going to meet their goal and that they're going to improve. They're confident in improving production. And then all of a sudden this rumor about a Slim and this talk about the whole, DVD separate, Blu-ray DVD, Blu-ray disc being separate. Like all of it's kind of like in a vacuum and stuff like that. And so I'm like, even though it's a rumor, but it does make sense when you put it all together. If this is the way for Sony to create consoles, drop the, have it at a $400 cost, and because of the way they designed it, they could produce more. I could see, and it's not like it's far-fetched, right? A PS5, Sony's always trying to redesign something and redesign their consoles just because that's their key. Redesign it to get it cheaper and produce more of it so they could get those numbers up, right?
With that being said, I've been on record as saying this. I don't think they're going to make a Pro PS5 Pro
I don't think
this generation. For one, because it's hard to get the components. If it's hard to produce just regular PS5s, right? We're already 2-3 years into this thing. I just, they're still making cross-gen games. Stuff is still, they're still recovering. I just don't see it. So the slim models and stuff like that, to save money and to be able to produce more consoles, that's more plausible to me than them. Can you imagine how many people are going to be mad they can't get their hands on the PS5, and here comes Sony?
And then once they get it, the next day, the Pro comes out, or they announce the Pro.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
I don't think it'll be so soon, Jay. I think if they do get a Pro, it'll be 2 years.
True, but I mean, it's again. These systems have been very hard to get, and so until that back list of people, until we get consoles on the shelves like normal, just consoles on the shelf, you can go in the store, you can buy one any day. Once they get to that level, then they can think about another system. But then you got to say they haven't even tapped the power of the PS5 right now. We're still early days in this stuff, right? So can you imagine in 2 years from now when they finally start hitting their stride with some of these games? I just don't see it.
Yeah,
I mean,
to what you were saying, these consoles have like the biggest gap in terms of like technology and how powerful they are compared to like previous consoles. So like it's going to take a long time before developers to like truly optimize the games for this, because you can see games like not the game that's on Game Pass with the rats. I forgot the name already. It's a very it's a very demanding game because they're pushing a certain technology forward, but they're not pushing everything. They're not really tapping into next gen, like full circle.
No, but they put more rats in the game.
But like that's what I mean. A technology is that, but like full circle, it's not pushing next gen like the way like a Sony game would in next year or the year after that.
Can I say this?
Go ahead, J-Dub. Go ahead.
As good as that game look, and I have played that game on PC with my 4090, and I played it on my on my PS5. The thing about it, it looks good, but if you're used to playing Sony games, it's just an average game. I mean, I'm not knocking the game. I'm not knocking it at all, but when you put that game up against a God of War Ragnarok or Horizon Forbidden West or something like that, and that's a next gen only game, right? Am I saying it right? Isn't Plague's Tale a next gen only game?
I think so.
I don't know if it's on the last gen systems, but I thought it was just next gen only game. But again, as great as that game look, graphically, Horizon and God of War kind of still, and Ragnarok still tops it. Even, it still tops it. So again, until you can match what Sony is doing with cross-gen games, can you imagine what their next generation only games like Wolverine and Spider-Man 2, if those are going to be next gen only?
Not only that game is super. It's like very linear, you know what I mean? It's basically
it's a walking simulator. That's basically what it is. It's a walking simulator. No. There's really not much.
It's a one and done,
right? You hold the button to slingshot. You throw the things, but there's really no combat. You see what I'm saying? You're not punching, you're not kicking, you're not jumping, you're not doing any of that. Matter of fact, you can't even jump. You have to walk to the wall, press X, and then it's kind of. It's a walking simulator, but it's okay. It's a great game. It's a great game. I'm not knocking it.
You know what I will say about this whole hardware thing? I think when it comes to first party, yes, we're always going to see them push the hardware to its absolute limits, just like God of War is pushing the PS4 to its absolute limits now.
It's making it cry.
When it comes to third party games, these developers are looking at the PS5 as a PC because essentially it's a PC in a box. There's no special.
It basically is.
You know what I mean? It's not the PS3 where like, they figured out the cell processor and they got these third party developers, whether it's lazy optimization or whatever you want to call it, they're already finding walls in the way. You know what I mean? But when it comes to first party, they're gonna take the time to squeeze every ounce out of that PS5.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
My point is that this game, the Plague Tale game, it is a next gen game, but it's a year one next gen game. So like it's still, this is like the early signs of what a next gen looks like. In a couple more years, we're gonna see third party games being pushed harder and harder.
And plus, how
by
big is the
then,
studio?
we don't really need a
game?
pro version of a PS5 because it's like this PS5
and how
in
big,
general is.
And how
still,
big is the studio that does the Plague Tale? They're not that big, are they?
That's a good question.
Mid-size, maybe small to mid-size.
It's still an indie studio.
Yeah, small to mid-size.
I just think that people look. We talked about this last week. Everybody has a different version of what next gen means. Because to me, it means ultra to high to ultra graphics, and you got VRR, you've got all these different modes that are coming.
Yeah, 120, 4K,
all that to me screams next gen. Even the game Forspoken is coming out. It's been documented that it's going to use FSR 2.0.
FSR 2.0, ray tracing, all that stuff.
So all that
clarify, to clarify on the studio size, it's a 220 full-time developers.
Okay. So it's a nice size. That's a nice size.
It's around that number.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised they haven't been purchased yet.
But I would imagine at a certain point, what we used to consider big studios, as these games get more advanced, what was considered once a big studio might be a small studio now. It's just,
that's what the
help
Naughty
Dog used to be
like
a
Unreal
studio
Engine
of
5.
like 80 people, 90 people, and that was considered large during the PS2 days.
Yeah, because you may not need that many to get the results. Yeah.
Well, the depending on the talent, and depending on the type of game that they're trying to make, right? If you're making a seafood or something like that, you don't need 300, 400, 500 people, right? But if you're making like goatees, the bangers we'll be looking for, you need a lot of people because there's a lot of moving parts with that. So
and keep in mind, it's like 230 whatever, but it's for at a minimum 3 platforms. So it's not like it's not like it's 230 dedicated to PS5 or dedicated to Xbox. Yeah. It's not.
Yeah,
it's 230. So you get now you get those teams and they're split. Yeah. So you might what you see 230, it might actually be around 70 on the PS5, 70 on PC, and then they all cross pollinate.
That's true.
So it's not like it's not like Sony where they have up to 1,000 people working on the PS4 version.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy about that redesign, Porter Rock, is now, what's the main selling point of the Xbox Series S, right? Like, it's small, it's compact, it's very small, and for $300 you can kind of
That's what I always said, because like I think I hit this thing. I think the Xbox Series S was the mistake. I think that was totally
right for $100 more.
$100 more, you could have just done what Sony did, all digital. Right? It's only $100 more. No one's gonna flip out, and you don't split the pipeline of your console. It's one consistent console. That's it. I'm telling you, the right now
that was a big mistake.
Yeah,
that shit is fucking
shit. Wait. I have an alternative theory.
Oh shit.
Because from what I understand, according to Microsoft, the biggest seller that they have is the Series S.
That's it.
So could the Series X be a big mistake?
No.
Are you saying
if you think about it? No. Hear me out.
I know what you're saying.
Hear me out, though.
I know what you're saying. From a business move, the X is the mistake.
And if their goal, right, is to push the cloud, Game Pass, and all this other stuff, right, PC and all that stuff, really they have nothing that's dedicated to the Series X.
So what you're telling me, Microsoft should have just embraced value 100%.
Absolutely.
Don't try to push 12 T-flops. Don't push RDNA 2.0, because none of that shit worked. It didn't work.
Yep.
The world's most powerful console did not work.
Absolutely. Listen, if they would have shut up about the T-flops, and if they would have just chose the value, chose Game Pass, and the ease, and the price, right from the start, they probably would have knocked it out the park, right? Because it's their point. Now it's kind of hard to sell somebody on a Series X, right, on the 12T flops and power. Matter of fact, they haven't mentioned power for the last two years. They haven't. I mean, ever since it launched, it was dead in the water. Nope. They don't say nothing about ray tracing no more. They don't say nothing about what's that that SSD that they got in there? All that powerful stuff, the velocity
architecture.
The 8K. They don't mention none of that stuff. They actually act like the Series X doesn't exist. It's really about the value. It's about Game Pass. It's about cost. People from what I see, they're still hyping up the Series S can do 120 games and 1440p and all this other stuff, right? They don't even mention the fucking Series X anymore. So that's my basis of saying, did they make a mistake of even releasing a Series X?
Because even the Series X guys are like protecting the Series X. Like if I was a Series X guy, I'd be like, yo, that little motherfucker is gonna hold my shit back.
Exactly. Especially when you got devs in it.
That's a really good point, Jay, though, because even their marketing is focused on the Series S. All their custom consoles are Series S. They're not Series X. You barely see anything from them referencing Series X.
Most of the giveaways are Series S. They gave, they gave DJ Khaled a Series S, and he throws a speaker box.
So
yeah, what's that? A speaker? I remember that.
Yeah. So according to some leaker, like before these consoles came out, the Series X was supposed to be like their server bracket, and they just made it into a console. And if it doesn't sell, they'll just focus it to be a server.
It'll be cloud,
a server bracket. Yeah, for cloud. Yeah, I don't know. That's what that person said. But it makes sense because it is a powerful console, right? But you can see that their marketing is all focused on the Series S, rightfully so, because it's the most popular one.
It's the most popular? And from what I hear, the split is actually 80-20. 80% of the Series S's and with 20% of the sales being the X Series X, which is just the hardcore, right? The hardcore only buys the top of the line stuff. All the casuals buy the low stuff. So, I mean, and listen, let's face it, that's not a knock at Xbox. That's not a knock with them. That's actually giving them credit. They did the business move. Exactly. They did the business move. If you know you don't have something to support the high-end stuff, right? In most of your sales is from the lower end and from the cheaper prices. Right now, I think you can get a Xbox Series S for like $249, $239 or something like that.
They're pushing that for the holiday.
Holiday is probably going to be around $220, if not $199, and it's going to fly off the shelves. It's a great value. You can get a next generation console for $200. Focus on that because I mean that's my whole thing. Because I mean, yes, you've got the hardcore. You've hype those guys up with the T-flop, right, and all the power, but you have given them nothing to showcase that. So, again, and I'm going to be honest, I don't think they're going to have anything to showcase that. That's just because the Series S is there. It is going to hold it back.
Yeah, the S is the base, so they can't really push it too hard.
Yeah,
but like what Puerto Rock said is like is what I thought they should have done when they saw Sony do a Slim, a no disk drive and a disk drive version. They should have just pulled back the Series S and just take the disk drive off of the Series X and make the same play.
Series S. It would have been perfect. Just call that the Series S.
Not exactly. Now when they come out with their Slim versions of the consoles, they have to come out with two of them: the Series S Slim and the Series X Slim. Whereas PlayStation can, like this rumor saying, can come out with one console and have that modular disk drive you can plug in if you want to, and be good. Have that one console and that's it. You don't got to worry about multiple SKUs.
Let me ask y'all this question, because J-Dub what if this whole value thing, right, takes such a grip on the Xbox brand that Microsoft shifts focus and no longer worries about creating the world's most powerful consoles or powerful consoles, and they fundamentally see they're more successful just pushing value-based content and hardware for the masses of the casuals. And as far as the hardcore goes, well, if you want a hardcore Xbox experience, there you go. That's exactly what I was gonna say. I think you got PC. So PC's your hardcore Xbox experience.
PC is Xbox. Remember, that's what they've been saying.
I think this generation is when they realize that they should focus more on hardcore. This is similar to when VR started off. All the hardcore people bought VR first, but it never took off because there's not a lot of hardcore people to support VR and what it needs. And then the Quest came out and it blew up, and it's all casual. So they're focusing on casual market and on the value because that's what sells. Yeah,
Absolutely.
the hardcore will put you on the map sort of, but it won't really elevate you to the point that you need to go to where you can sell a lot and make a lot of money. It'll never happen.
In every generation, the casuals don't, the systems don't really hit their stride with maximum potential sales until that cost gets down to about $249.
Yeah.
That's $249, $199. That's when they're flying off the shelf consistently.
Yeah.
At $500, $400, it's going to be a slow drip. It can be a steady drip, but it's a slow drip because again,
I would say this gen though kind of changes things because I never seen a gen where consoles are still $400 or $500 and people like have no issue trying to buy it. In fact, now
Absolutely.
I see like almost everybody say they would buy a PlayStation 5 if they could find it. Whether it's
Absolutely.
the $400 one or $500, and that's like 2 years later.
Yeah.
That's bananas to me.
Yeah.
Like 2 years later, people are still willing to drop, five bones on a console. 2 years later, that shit is wild.
GameStop is still selling those $700-$800 bundles.
This shit is wild.
For their PS5s, and they're still flying off the shelf. They're still sold out, man.
We'll see.
That's correct.
And then on top of the games that Sony are dropping and having a pipeline, right? People still want to get their hands on the Spider-Man.
And Spider-Man 2
damn
ain't
sure
even
they
out
want
yet.
Spider-Man
Like,
2 and the Wolverine, and then Final Fantasy. I mean, like I said, it's
this is crazy.
It's going to be crazy.
This
And then
shit is
VR,
wild.
right? VR is coming. So for those hardcore and those people who bought the Quest 2, right? They see they like VR and stuff, and now they're in the PlayStation. They might want to take that step up.
Good segue. So that'll be the next topic. So PSVR 2.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I didn't really speak on the Slim rumor.
Okay.
But I want to say something real quick on it. I think that the sooner the better. I think the sooner it comes out, 2023, the better, because they can, like you said, eliminate the first 2 batches of the PS5s that, although look really nice, I feel like they made them just so that it adds to the hype. Look how sexy this looks like. Look how different and alien type it looks like. Now they can focus on making it more, smaller and more like a box and easier to produce and sell. So if it comes out next year, I'll probably get one of those because I don't got a PS5 just because of how big it is, honestly.
You don't have a PS5?
It's bigger than his desktop.
PC.
It's bigger than his desktop.
It's taller than my fucking computer tower. Yeah. So
call me Jay. You don't got a PS5, man. That's crazy. No, man. All right, let me see. How do I delete you from?
Oh shit! You on the block list? You blacklisted. You blacklisted like Stevivor. You like Stevivor. Yes. You ain't getting no free copies. You ain't getting no.
No, but J-Dub said that Xbox with the whole series, the whole power topic that when they came out with it. I think Microsoft did that because at the time, or currently too, that's all they had is the power dispute. Like what else could they launch a console with any type of benefits that
they launch it with no games? And the console launched with no games, so yeah, you're right.
And the value wasn't really sticking in 2020 yet because Game Pass was still.
Yep, and Game Pass didn't have any games.
No, it still don't.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's why they was giving it away with Chips Ahoy and Taco Bell and I'm just saying. I mean,
no, but he's right, and I'm so sick of these games. Listen, all these Game Pass games come out, and they're just forgettable experiences. They're always just okay or mediocre. Like that's just the facts, bro. And it's not me hating. It's just the facts. Like people got to stop saying, oh, you guys are hating on Xbox. No, we're just saying the truth. You just don't want to hear the truth.
Can I say something, Blaze?
Go ahead.
Let me be honest right now. What you just said is very unfortunate because when you see people like Take-Two, when you see people, all of these big people in the industry and developers and these people who own these companies, when they say that their games can't fit into a Game Pass type model, then what that is telling you is that you can't expect big blockbuster AAA $200-300 million games to be had in a $10, $15 service. Right. What you're gonna get are the games that you're getting, right? The smaller games, the games that are okay. The games that you probably wouldn't have bought separately, but you can try it out in Game Pass, and you may like it or may not. The okay games, right? But you're not getting no fucking Spider-Man, God of War, and the big bangers and stuff like that. It's never come. It's not right. You can hope that Starfield turns out to be a really good game. You can hope that Redfall and all that stuff coming to be a good game, but you're never going to get a Grand Theft Auto. You're never going to get the good shit that you're looking
mediocre.
for.
Yeah. You know, it'll look like you know. That looks
but it's in Game Pass. But
right,
it's in Game Pass. It's a Game Pass game, and that's unfortunate.
Come on, Blaze. You tell me you're not gonna have fun with your friends? Like, bro, I can sit there and throw fucking paper at the wall and have fun with my friends. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. But Blaze, I finally realized PlayStation and Xbox guys are just two different types of people. The Xbox community accepts, right, what Microsoft gives them, and they'll love it. They'll rock with it.
Bureaucracy.
Right? PlayStation fans tend to say, I don't want that. I want this. I want the big mega blockbuster Transformers over the top Michael Bay experience. I don't care if it's a one and done. I don't care if it's a $70 game. I don't care if it's a $550 peripheral. I want it. I want the big stuff. I don't want the tinky winkies. Right. It's okay to have some sprinkles of indies here and there, but you sold me on a high performance SSD, next generation experience, DualSense haptic feedback, audio, all that stuff that that pedigree that Sony has. Sony has a pedigree that they have to live up to. Microsoft doesn't. Right? They're coming off the worst generation ever, and they started off this generation as a repeat of last generation by launching two consoles with no game still, right? And here we are finna go into 2023 still having to wait for E3. And then we just hope that the games that come out in 2023 are of good caliber. But if they're not, people are gonna, either say, well, what do you expect is in Game Pass, or they're gonna say, wait till next E3.
It's portable. It's Game Pass.
Absolutely. It's
value. You know what? Let me ask y'all something. Porter, I got a great question for the panel, because I even asked when I asked these Xbox guys the same question. You know what they tell me? Nothing. Watch. Ready? Right. Give me, when you think of the last generation, PS4, Xbox One, and I say, give me a couple memorable games on the Xbox. Like, what's
Halo
memorable on the
Xbox? Halo gives in Forza.
I'm gonna tell you,
but that's not memorable.
The most memorable, the most memorable thing you're gonna get from Xbox is TV, sports.
And Donnie D.
I am telling people.
I can answer that easily.
I am telling people.
Rise, son of Rome.
No, that's I know, right? Because every game, right? Every game was birthed because of Rise, son of Rome. I am telling you, Xbox One
copied Rise, all right? Yeah. Blaze, so stop.
Yeah. But I'm gonna say this. I always said this.
I actually like Rise. But it's not memorable.
Cool, yeah, I always said this, that after this generation, when people look back, and we always do that. We always recollect and remember the previous generations. PlayStation 2, GameCube, Dreamcast, Xbox One will be, for a main system, it's gonna be one of the most forgettable generations ever. Because it's not gonna have Xbox like PlayStation 1. 2. You can remember Metal Gear Solid, Snake Eater. You can remember
GTA San Andreas.
San Andreas. Devil May Cry. Final Fantasy. There's God of War 1 and 2.
The Last of Us.
The Last of Us and the PS3. Even the PS3 have memorable.
That's what I'm saying.
Guns of Patriots, Heavenly Sword, Resistance. The Last of Us, how it finished off, 360, Years of War, Halo, Halo 3, so every console, even OG Xbox, Knights of the Old Republic, Halo 2, Halo 1, LAN parties. Xbox One, people are going to be like, oh, Rise, and most people are going to be like, oh, I didn't play that.
Yeah.
Hardly anyone played Rise. It only sold like 1 million copies. It's going to be, Xbox One is going to be one of the most forgettable brands.
I can give you 3. I can give you 3 games I remember from the Xbox One era.
Oh,
that would be Sunset No, not Scalebound. I'm so pissed off that it was either Platinum Games or
Microsoft. Scalebound's failure.
Scalebound. I wanted
Yeah.
Oh, that's messed up.
Yeah, really wanted it. But my 3 games in the Xbox One era that I remember that were exclusive was Sunset Overdrive or Override.
Overdrive.
He said, "Oh, listen, you can't even remember the correct name. How do you remember?" My man Cloak, he's like, "Override is Overdrive, Sunset Overdrive."
Overdrive. I just know that it was about an energy drink that turned everybody to monsters. That's one thing I remember, and I remember going through.
Oh my god.
That's one thing I remember. Then it was Dead Rising 3.
Oh, hell
and then
no.
the game was it was technically new, but technically not new. It was the Halo Master Chief Collection, and I just wanted to play Halo 2.
Oh, this is bad.
That's a
Yo,
sorry
this
list,
is
brother,
that's
you
a
know?
so yo. That is
Very
bad.
sorry list.
That is bad. It is bad. Yeah. So you're right, Blaze. It's Xbox One's gonna be a very unmemorable generation. Like 2 gens from now, when we look back,
they're not wrong.
But here's the bigger question: will this generation be a not rememberable generation for Xbox? Because think about it. Here we are 2 years in, and they really don't have anything to remember.
I'm gonna tell you, at a minimum, Bethesda's gonna save them. At a minimum,
good.
At a minimum,
something that defines your console. Something you can say, yes, define.
Yeah, memorable is a bad word. I shouldn't use memorable.
We don't know. We don't know because, like you said, J-Dub, next year is a bunch of hopium. We don't know. We hope that they're good. We all hope that Starfield is amazing, but we don't know. We hope that Redfall is good, but we don't know yet. So if they're good, then maybe those games could be one of those games that stand with the Series S and X as memorable games for that generation.
I think Ninja Theory is gonna be fine.
Okay,
I think
I'm
they could
telling
do
everybody in the chat here. I'm telling you, if you're going to play Starfield, play it on PC. I understand it's not a master race thing. It is not. I assure you, 4K.
No, it's going to be 30 frames on console. It's going to be 30 frames on Xbox.
It's 30 frames.
Are you gonna buy?
I'm talking about PC. Play it on PC. I am saving you the headache.
Well, most Bethesda games, especially like Fallout.
If there's a bug or if there's a glitch,
it's going to mod. Yeah,
it's always been better on PC.
No, not a mod. You can use the console command, the tilde key, and actually use a command to get you out of said bug or glitch.
Yeah. What you would call it? Bethesda, Elder Scrolls and Fallout has always usually been the better experience on PC. Always.
Absolutely.
And because of that too, like what he mentioned. Never mind the mods. The mods alone just takes it to a whole new dimension. The one thing, just going back real quick to the Game Pass, the one thing I don't mind Game Pass, but one thing it caused a lot of fakeness to like games you really don't like. Just so you can advertise for Game Pass.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a bunch of fodder.
Yeah, look at all the games looking on Twitter, all the games a lot of Xbox gamers hype and be like, man, that's great for Game Pass, right? But then when the game comes out, they hardly actually talk about the game when it's time to play it. They hardly talked about, what is it? Until Dusk Falls.
Scorn.
They hardly talk about Scorn. That just came out. That shit's gone. That shit's just disappeared off the map. Yeah. Crossfire, nobody says anything to it.
That's what I'm saying.
They're not genuine with the games they really like. They're not genuine with, hey, I like Game Pass, but none of these are games I'm really interested in.
Porterock, I think it's the opposite. I think they do too much time on Twitter talking about it because they're not playing it. Yo, listen, when I have more Halo Infinite achievements and more time in Halo Infinite, then just should I say names? I probably shouldn't, but whatever. Go look at the big X. It's pathetic. These dudes ain't playing their games, bro.
No. Yeah. They advertise, and that's weird because who are you advertising to? Because the reality is this, and this we call be genuine with this. Most gamers are not going to listen to Xbox gamers. Every gamer in the community, Nintendo, PC, especially PlayStation, we know you guys are doing free labor for Xbox. Everybody sees it.
The amount of hours.
You're only circle jerking amongst each other, but you're not really expanding your empire, getting people to be like, oh my god, these guys know what the hell they're talking about. Everybody's like, okay, these weirdos, because you don't have the games to advertise.
Okay, for the Rock, Liquid Data. Shout out to him with $5.
Oh, let me get the super chat. We got start out with Bendover. Oh boy, these guys.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Pause.
Man. Oh my god. He said, but we got Pentiment. Another game they started talking about, but watch after a week, it'll be in the dust. And then Liquid Data.
It's sad.
Shout out to he said SOCOM, of course, another classic. Hopefully it comes back. And then you want to read the last one because I think you're gonna make a point.
Yeah, because he made a great point. He said you don't appreciate things as much if you get it for free. The same go for games. That's true. It's that value because you feel like, I didn't really spend any money on it, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, versus you buying it because you earned that. You earn it.
Listen, when you spend $70 on the game, your expectation of it is a lot higher for that game. When you get it for free, it's like, it's a bunch of duds in Game Pass, but I only paid $10 for it. So, that's the mindset people have. So they're okay. They tend to accept the fact that their games are uber mid. You see what I'm saying?
And then when you go buy a game, it's a deliberate decision. It's a decision you make.
There are people that have a mentality that even though it's something free, they also judge it and they want it to be good. But most of these people that are on the Xbox camp, the fanboys, they don't see it like that. That's an excuse for them. Oh, it's on Game Pass. It's fine if it's bad. I'll just get achievements or whatever.
Yeah, there's nothing to judge. Yeah. There's no reason to judge the game. There's no reason to critique Microsoft on a poor quality game because it's Game Pass. It's whatever. Yeah. Unlike a game that you're interested in buying, you have to be deliberate in that decision, right? And if you're deliberate, like, oh, I see that game, I'm going to go buy it, I expect that game to be a level of quality. And if it isn't, I'm going to call it out. When Game Pass, you really don't do that. Because
that's true.
It's just there.
I remember when Game Pass came out. But when I first saw it come out, I think there was only about maybe 100 games, less than that. But it was nothing like, I think they had like Fable Anniversary, Fable 2 on there. And there was some other, I don't know if Dead Space came yet to Game Pass, but it was more of like, oh, okay, cool. I can actually just sell my collection of physical games to GameStop, get some money, and then I can just have all my games on here. And then I found out that they can actually take games off. And I'm like, great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
it's a service.
It's a service. I didn't really think of that at the time, but as I kept thinking about it, I'm just like, wait, Game Pass is just like Blockbuster back in the day.
Pretty much.
You just have unlimited amount of games, but there's sometimes to where Blockbuster, you got like the new hot game, but they only had like 3 copies of it. But then if those 3 copies were out, then you had to actually go and find another game that you were interested in. For that weekend.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I look at Game Pass like when you go to a restaurant, right? I go to restaurants that have a very small menu because when there's a lot of stuff on that menu, I never know what to get. It's just too much.
Yep.
But when you go to a select, like if you go to a steakhouse, right? It's a nice steakhouse, not just a little small steakhouse, but a nice steakhouse. There's a very there's only a few things to select from because that's their specialty and that's what they're cooking for the day, and you just got to pick from that. So you don't but you expect that quality from that menu because it's catered. That's kind of like PlayStation. Xbox side, they throw a bunch of stuff in a service, a couple of 100 games, and just say select from whatever, and then it is what it is. But when you scroll through that list, 95% of the stuff either you never heard of or you don't even want to play.
That's the other problem these dudes be saying. Like, oh, Blaze, come on, you don't want to try this, you don't want to try that. Like, yo, I'm a grown adult. I know what type of games I want to play. If I'm even slightly interested, I'm buying the game. There's no, I want to try this. Like, I'm not going to find no new experience, bro. Like, very rarely do I find like a little indie game. But bro, if I'm slightly interested, I'm buying it. There's nothing that can surprise me on Game Pass. Like, this game came out of nowhere. No, because I know what I'm looking for and I know what I like, man. That's it.
Yeah. There's no hate. We got decades of record. Like I said,
absolutely.
I grew up in an era where to recognize if a game was good or not, all I got was maybe a review magazine, if I'm lucky, or the back of the box.
Right.
Yep.
That's all I got.
You got Game Informer,
I gotta make my decision.
That shit.
I gotta make my decision.
Game Informer.
Yeah, that's it.
The other one is Blaze. You got kids. Like, you should be promoting that. Like, bro, okay, but my kids got PlayStation.
like
Yo,
why do they act like?
son?
And this is what I don't understand. Why? That's one thing that annoys me. Oh, but this is great for families, whatever. I'm like, bro, not everybody like nobody. Not everybody like. I don't want to say not everybody's broke, but some people just want to be entertained the way it is, and how much it costs to be entertained isn't a big deal. Like, it isn't a big deal to buy games. Like, I don't know how that became an issue. Where now, like, you saying, oh, I have no issues buying games is now like a bad thing. Like, what? Like, oh, you just cook for Sony. Like, well, hold up. Buying games is now cooking? Like, oh, shit. Like, this
Bro,
is
the one
crazy.
hobby we have is a problem now when you spend money on it. Like, come on, what we do?
Like,
you know
yo,
what they'll
this
complain
is
about?
fucking crazy.
Yo, Puerto Rock, it drives me crazy. They complain about us buying $70 games, but for fucking the last 10 years, they've been buying every color controller, but at $80 a pop, and that's a
not
controller.
even that, Blaze. Not even that. There's a guy that apps for Xbox, and he trashes people who buy his games, but he's an Xbox guy, obviously, and the way that he buys games is through Microsoft Rewards. So all he does is just do tasks that they give him so that he gets points and buys games. So he doesn't even spend money on Microsoft.
Yo, I believe you. I know there's Xbox guys that literally boot up a Game Pass game just to get the added reward for that day.
God,
you know what I mean?
Play Game Pass.
Crazy, bro.
They
do like that little
they can actually
achievement
glitch your
shit.
Xbox. That's what did man.
Yo, shout out to Liquid Data.
It is Section 8 gaming on the Xbox.
Oh shit! Shout out to Liquid Data.
Listen, bro, if you're on Twitter capping this hard for Xbox, I expect you to be buying their stuff, right? But this guy posts tweets like, "Hey, thanks to Microsoft Rewards, I can buy this game now." And I'm like, "You're not paying them? You're not supporting them? You're just using their points to buy it? Like what? That's crazy."
Well, that's why you get what you get with them, right? That's why you get those caliber games, because those guys are worried more about getting it free or for a cheaper price versus and I'm once we hit the next topic, maybe my point will hit home. But real gamers, we have been buying games since the beginning of gaming, right? Whether you started gaming on Atari or Nintendo, buying games is just what we did and what we do now. So sure, it's great if it goes on sale and we can save some money, but that service and getting those games for free in that service don't really move the masses. It really don't. Because
there's N64 games I was paying $90 a pop. Like
exactly.
$90, $100.
That was expensive.
It was all over
exactly.
the place.
Yeah, N64.
And then they worry about Sony's. You know the thing with the other thing we got to stop doing, and this is not just Xbox, please. Like people worry about the suits and the stocks and Sony and Jim Ryan flew to Brazil. Like I don't give a fuck. Give me my games, bro. I don't care about none of that. Really. I really don't.
Shout out to what you call it, Liquid Data. He says we all come from the back of the box days. That's true, man. Them days, you had to make the right decision. Liquid Data says soon you might be able to get Game Pass with an EBT card. Oh shit! That's just gonna be a federal loan, student loan.
That comment he made about the back of the box, that couldn't have happened in a better time back then, because back then developers were actually trying to see what sticks, right? So they're trying to invent new games, new genres, and whatever. Now they're basically just making the same game over and over, except for a few people. So it's like back then that was like the best time for not to have a lot of internet, because you just look at the box and they look very interesting or very boring, and you just buy the game.
Yeah.
Now they're all the same.
Depending on how far back we're going, you probably couldn't read the back of the box very well.
Yeah, you just saw some art in the front, and that's it. It didn't look anything like the game.
Last weekend, I did a comparison between Game Pass and PlayStation Extra and Premium, and as I was skimming through Extra, I found out that PlayStation Plus Extra offers more better titles
quality
than
titles.
Game Pass. I kid you not, because I was like, okay, I saw that they had all the Assassin's Creed. Did they have Assassin's Creed Black Flag? Okay, yes, they do on PlayStation Extra. They do not have it on Game Pass.
Yeah.
You can't play it. You have to pay $30 for it.
PlayStation has over 700 games inside of the PlayStation Plus service. If you get the top tier, Xbox only has 200 at a time. 200.
They have. I can go on the app right now. It says it has about like 550. But those 550, that's probably like combining like PC Game Pass and probably like mobile Game Pass. I'm not too sure myself. Just from like going from the console side, I can see that like you got your known titles, like you got your Halo, you got your Gears, and you got the 3 Fable games. Okay, cool. Everybody knows about those. But what about the ones that actually like look interesting? Oh, these are just made in like Unity. These are like made in Unity.
Here's the thing about the numbers on Game Pass, right? The amount of games. I noticed that They have the 2 games that I can remember is the Master Chief Collection and Rare Replay.
Yep.
Those are like a bundle of games, right? They have those 2 plus the games that come in them separately in Game Pass as well. So that's a way for them to inflate the numbers too.
Yeah.
So they have Rare Replay and they have every game separate that you can download separately.
But what they should do, at least with Game Pass side, is that they should actually list all the games that is available for Game Pass that is on console, PC, and mobile. Because I had no idea until I got placed. It was a PC Xbox Game Pass or Game Pass Ultimate that I was able to get Scarlet Nexus. I don't remember seeing Scarlet Nexus on the console side. So I don't know if the PC side came first or not. I have no clue. I don't remember. But I do know that I think PC Game Pass is actually going to offer League of Legends, or maybe you have to have an Xbox
It's a collaboration.
account. Oh, it's a collaboration. Okay, so it's not coming to Game Pass. Okay.
No.
And then there was a couple games on the mobile side. It's just like you don't know unless you actually go to that app. But like on PlayStation, yeah, it's a little bit mixed up. They're separated. And one thing that on the PlayStation Extra side, at least with Assassin's Creed Black Flag, I do not know. It is a PS4 version, but I do not know if there is a 60 FPS update for it. It doesn't say, so you just got to check for yourself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go on to the next topic, PSVR, and I'm glad I got J-Dub and Blaze here. So Sony officially announced we're gonna get some PSVR2 in February, and it's gonna cost $550. Blaze, what you think about that? What you think about PSVR2, Sony's pricing being at $550? And just, I know we have very little information, but do you think Sony sees this more as still VR is very for the enthusiast, or do you think they have plans to try to get this mainstream? Let me know what you think. Oh shit, Blaze is playing. He's playing God of War. Yeah. Oh shit! All right, Jay. Oh man, he's setting up that work. Yeah, that's it. He set that shit up. He done with this.
No. I was on mute on my headphones.
My man playing God of War. He like, fuck this podcast. I ain't got time for this shit.
Hell no. Come on, you know I wouldn't do it like that, bro. I feel like the prices.
I wouldn't be mad though, because I bet you if God of War was live right now, I would be out. I'll be like, hold on. I'll be right back. Go ahead.
It's a good price. It's a good price. People acting like I can't stand these clickbait titles like, oh, PSVR is expensive. It's expensive. Like, if you look at the original PSVR that came out, that was sold just the headset, yeah, it wasn't that price. But when it got bundled with the actual controllers, the things you needed to play, okay, that was the original price. It was $550, $549. So why are people acting like this is so expensive when the original PSVR was the exact same price? And then, you know, people don't even know what they talk about. Oh, PSVR 2, man, it's got OLED. Yeah, so did the original. Do y'all pay attention? A lot of people did not buy the first PSVR, and that's okay. But, you know, them trying to over here, like, explain and try to understand what's going on. Like, J-Dub, I know for a fact, I played multiple sessions with J-Dub. Multiple.
Yeah.
And, listen, that PSVR, people want to talk about the MetaQuest. It's a great little system. You know what I mean? They got like a little Snapdragon in there, and it runs games, and it's wireless. You can use it on PC, and they've you know, to be real, the PSVR has, not, I don't want to say stolen, borrowed ideas from the Quest when it comes to the cameras, when it comes to like tapping the zone. Yeah, and it's a great device. But what I'm trying to say is that PSVR is fairly priced. And let's not act like PlayStation wasn't the lead, you know, when it comes to selling PSVRs. Like they're the ones that push PSVR around niche to like actually getting it to be popular. Like PlayStation started that shit. And who do you trust? Do you trust Facebook or you trust PlayStation when it comes to first party games? I'm just being real. To locking deals. Oh, well, Blade, know what the other thing is? Oh, Naughty Dog ain't making the PSVR games, Blade. That's the problem. Yeah, you're right. That is a problem. But you know PlayStation's going to get those Resident Evil deals over. You know what I mean? They're just going to go after them.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Jada, what you think about this? Well, hold up. Let me hit him up. We got Liquidated says, I remember books came in the game box to tell you how to play it. Oh shit, I remember. They had like a whole goddamn essay with instructions and the stories. You remember those? Yeah. The books used to contain the storyline of what you were doing. Right? And then we got, oh shit, Bazooka Long Dong. Oh shit. I'm telling you, man, I got some.
He read it and he still said it out loud. What's going on here?
I'm saying I got the freaks. I got the freaks up in here, right?
Oh man,
so you're gonna call in sick P-Rock? Ragnarok is here. Oh shit, nah, man, duty calls. But I'm off Thursday and Friday. Well, Friday I got the Marine Corps ball, but I'm gonna be pulling out an all-nighter. You know what I'm saying? So I'll play whatever I can today. Break night tomorrow. Enjoy some Thursday, because Thursday I'll be off. Friday get drunk. Then go back to playing Saturday and stuff like that. Oh, I'm gonna enjoy this week, yeah. But shout out to chat. But J-Dub, what you think about this? I know you've been a big VR dude since day one. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You bought half. You bought half of the 3 million VR that Sony sold.
Facts. It's a day one for me. It's improved on. I mean, it's the highest level VR you can buy for mainstream. So price. That's there. Yeah, for the price. The fact that the PS5 is much, much more powerful than the PS4 was. So, we don't have to have those compromises that we did previously. The fact that they, got some dedicated exclusive games there. We got Half-Life Alyx coming. They did a partnership with them, with Valve. So we'll be able to get that. Yes.
That's going to be really good for you guys.
Now, here's the thing. I think Sony has an event that's coming up, and I think that's going to be kind of like their little surprise. I think they're holding back for that. But it's a day one for me. VR is not for everybody. You kind of have to try it. Once you try it, most people they're going to buy it. And it'll never sell 1-to-1, right? It's not a Nintendo Labo or something. It is a expensive peripheral. But for the hardcore and for the people that know VR, it's already sold. It's already sold. Yep. And that price, again, like Blaze said, it's not out of the ordinary. It's literally what we paid for before. If you get the Move controllers and all that stuff like what we had before, it's the same cost. So this is right in line. And guess what? What else high in VR are you going to have to be able to play with your PlayStation or, even on PC? You're going to have to shell out a lot of money. And again, you don't have the exclusive games that's there. So it is what it is. It's a no-brainer. And I'm glad that Sony is doubling down on VR. They doubled down on PlayStation 5. They doubled down on exclusive, their multiplayer games and everything else. It's just taking every excuse that people have to not be in the PlayStation ecosystem off the table. The price is right, the services are right, everything is just right. Like, so they're offering it's just the best place to play, man. It's the best place to play.
To add to the price to performance of the PSVR2, you're paying similar price to the PSVR1, but you're not getting a generation leap. You're getting 2-3 times of a generation leap because you're getting eye tracking, you're getting full rendering, you're getting
haptic feedback.
You're getting
HDR,
OLED with HDR, local dimming. Yeah. There's so much that 120 FOV, high FOV for VR.
Yeah,
with all through a single USB-C cable, through one USB-C cable. The only headset that did something similar was the Rift S, and it needed a USB plus a display port. This is just one USB-C doing all this work. That's a lot.
The USB-C is a next generational thing.
Yeah. It's not like Xbox. They have the Xbox got the last gen shit.
Sadly, it does not come with its own vomit bags to when you get motion sickness.
Then you shouldn't buy it.
Well, because the games because it sustains the high refresh rates, you don't get motion sickness like you did back with the PS4.
Yeah,
there's people that still get motion sickness. There's people that still get motion sickness even if you're giving them the best VR headset. But it's just that's just how it is. Some people.
Those are those people, though. Yeah, those are those people.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's like the market leader when it comes to VR gaming in general is the Quest 2. For high-end PC, it's not really there because developers are focusing more on the Quest 2 rather than PC.
Yeah.
PS5 is coming in to fill that gap for high-end VR.
This is the reason why the PlayStation VR is the best bet, the best bang for the buck, is because Sony. It's one piece of hardware that they have to work with. It's not like PC where you have to focus on a multitude of different hardware configurations and different things, right? This here can be a tailored experience. It's just like gaming on console, right? On the PlayStation 5. The reason their games look good and they work well is because the developers only have to focus on one specific tech spec versus multiple things, right? They don't have to do it for multiple different types of consoles and hardware configurations. They just focus on what they have. They know what they're going to have. And it's, again, you got Horizon, Call It a Mountain, right? A blockbuster AAA game that's for there, and with no compromises. Absolutely. It's a full title.
Yeah. Also, Firewall.
It's a big AAA experience.
The Firewall game. It's getting an
Firewall full title.
I love the fact that they have a quick menu and you use your eyes to select things. You use your eyes to select things with eye tracking. That's so badass.
The best thing for me is the fact that they got the DualSense haptic feedback not only in the controllers but the actual helmet. So let's say you get shot in the head. Pause. You're gonna feel that. Where you playing Firewall and somebody's shooting you and they shoot you in the head. You're gonna feel that. That is. I can't wait for that.
A VR game that he's making for PSVR2 with it's a horror game, and if you every time you blink, the enemies move.
It's closer to you.
You have to have your eyes open all the time. If you blink,
that's just gonna be scary.
That's
Didn't
crazy.
Alone in the Dark do that?
No.
Was that? I think no. It was Alone in the Dark. I remember it was for. I think it was. I don't know if it was for PlayStation 3, but I remember playing the demo on 360 back in the day. Because you had to blink when you went first person.
Oh yeah, but that's for your eyes get foggy and stuff. You just blink because that's like a weird mechanic, a weird gimmick. It's not the same thing.
Okay. I remember
but
that.
VR, like PSVR2 is coming in hot. Like the price is you're getting a true bang for your buck for the amount of tech inside of it. And like Jacob said and Blaze said, you're getting a AAA experience because Sony and PlayStation is a first-party gaming-focused headset, and the Quest 2 has games, but like they're not really focused on gaming as much as PlayStation is.
Yeah.
No, the Quest got games. They locked in. They locked in Resident Evil 4 VR. I bought that, played that. It's really good. But like when it comes down to it, it's like the playoffs. Are you trusting, Kirk Cousins or Tom Brady? You know what I mean? When shit hits the fan, like when you really go in stride, who you trusting? But I want to say this about PSVR 1. Sony learned a lot of valuable lessons from that. Anybody that owned the PSVR 1 understands how convoluted, how really just uninspired all those wires coming out. I bought a PSVR and then I bought a 4K TV with HDR. Oh, I have to unplug it because that break box don't support HDR, so I had to buy the new PSVR that supported HDR. It was just a mess of wires. But if anybody that experienced that, anybody that ever put that helmet on, the one thing they always say was they were blown away. And two, I've tried multiple VR headsets, and the PSVR still to this day is the most comfortable headset. No joke, it really is.
Facts. And that was my first headset actually. I bought it on Walmart. I tried it on, and I returned it, and I bought an Oculus Rift immediately because I play on PC, and it was freaking that. Like that's what sold me on VR, the PSVR. And to this day, there's no VR that's as comfortable as that one. Actually, you're right.
I'll just stick with my PS2 iToy. I'm fine with it.
I think PlayStation. Even though I know some people, to be honest, the people who complain about the price never were really interested in PlayStation VR in the first place. They're not gonna buy it, and they were never really interested because, like Blaze said, it's similar to what came out. And I think the original, and I got mine right. I think the original PSVR was kind of a Frankenstein. You needed a camera, the two dildos. It was, while the experience was good, right? Now it seems like it's a better built product, built from the ground up. Not obviously, but the PSVR 1 games are not natively backwards compatible. You can still make them compatible with a patch, to which a lot of developers pledged they're going to provide free patches. But I like the fact that they didn't allow the first PSVR to hold back what they want to do with PSVR 2. They said, we're not going to. And I think that's great.
Listen, the fact that you can play PSVR on a PS5 right now, if you remember people that had PSVRs that bought PS5, they sent you the little adapter if you requested it. So the fact that it can already run games, you're running PSVR games natively on a PS5 already. So really, all they really got to do is go in and change the way the game, because the game's trying to track, you're using a camera and these lights to try to track what your movement. It's ridiculous. And the fact that Sony listen, people say, "Oh, what a lazy design!" Like that was a big risk for Sony, but the fact that they made it work without spending all, you know how many move controllers they had in that warehouse? Trust me, the fact that they saved so much money and it ended up working out. And honestly, it gave PlayStation a uniqueness about it. Like, damn, like what are these light up sticks? Like, what do y'all do? Like that shit looks so interesting. It just looked like a vibe, really. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are y'all doing with that? Like, it's a good time. And like you said, Firewall, games like Firewall, like, for real, man. It's the first multiplayer game I've ever experienced. Before, like, the Pavlovs, like, Firewall was so dope.
Coming
like,
to PSVR 2.
It's Call of Duty in VR, man, and you're playing with your boys.
Exactly.
Bro, listen, if Contractors VR comes to PSVR 2, that's your Call of Duty right there. It has mod support, and people already imported a bunch of Halo and Call of Duty maps. It literally plays like Modern Warfare 2019 in VR. It's ridiculous.
Contractors, wow. Yeah, trust me. Yep.
So what you're saying is that if Xbox was to have a VR headset, the only thing that people will be playing would be Power Washer Simulator.
Oh,
They're actually making a VR version of
VR?
that game, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, kudos to them.
Yep.
I'm gonna do IT manager on PSVR 2.
Cells.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, I can do PC Simulator in VR. How about that?
I'm super excited for the crossplay because a lot of people are gonna either upgrade or start new with PSVR 2, and a lot of games are gonna have crossplay with the Quest 2. So it'll just be the player pool is gonna be increased even more. So there's gonna be a ton of lobbies, even more so than now.
I think the only thing that could, if Xbox actually really tried and wanted to actually combat the PSVR 2, the only thing I can actually see them do, they would have to completely redesign the entire Xbox Series X and S and not another port, but an eGPU. Have an external GPU, basically like a case, and is connected to the system with a wire. That way you can actually play the main.
They don't have to.
Titles.
They can just do the breakout box. That same thing that PlayStation did with the PS4. They can just do that exact same thing with a more modern.
Oh, yeah.
They don't have to redesign anything on the console. The thing is that their Windows mixed reality headsets suck a lot, and for them to compete, they would have to spend so much money. Like, look how much money Meta is spending on VR. They would have to spend all that money just for RD to get their tracking to be as good, if not better, and then come out. It's not, bro. Relax. And come out with a good VR headset. They're better off just putting Halo in VR on the Quest, and that's it.
Yeah,
putting it on PC.
They still might.
Yeah. People want Minecraft. People want Minecraft in VR on the Quest.
Wasn't that supposed to happen? What was it called?
Microsoft.
It came out. It already came out.
You can already play Minecraft in VR. That's the other thing I want to talk about. And people thinking that this shit ain't gonna work. Oh well, is it gonna be compatible? Is Sony gonna allow this to be compatible with? Sony doesn't matter if they make it compatible, if they allow it or not. It's a USB-C cord. You know how simple people are gonna pay PSVR on their PC? It's gonna be like literally plug and play. I'm telling you, it's gonna be that easy. Yeah. And you know, because you can play the first PSVR if you really want to. It's convoluted, but you can do it.
Yeah. But let's think about PC dudes. They're gonna patch it. They're gonna do all kind of stuff to mod it and get it to work. That's the nature of PC, and that's why people go to PC, because they want to be able to tinker and stuff like that. Yeah. So
yes, we do.
Yeah. But I think
Minecraft VR is already a thing. It was already a thing a couple years ago. It hasn't moved to Quest or PSVR 2. Hopefully it does. But go ahead.
And I don't think anyone should have the expectation that VR is gonna match consoles. It's just not. I think it's gonna be successful in its own right. I think it's gonna get popular in its own right. But a console is always like, consoles and handhelds are like the most easiest way for gaming. You know what I mean? It's very simple, it's very easy, and everybody wants it that way, right? As far as VR, even within the PSVR 2, a lot of PlayStation 5 gamers are not interested in PSVR because they're only interested in what they actually got, which is the PlayStation 5. That's what they want, that's what they got,
Sony.
And that's all they care, right?
Yeah. So it comes down to Sony showing them like a badass VR game, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna try it, and if I don't like it, I can just return it because they're gonna sell out retail, obviously.
Yeah. But even then, that's still a hard sell because I would say across even beyond VR. And I think when we were podcasting back in the day and PSVR first came out, I always said the hardest thing in the aftermarket peripheral, and what I mean by aftermarket is a peripheral designed for a console that a first party makes, right? Whether it was the U-Force or, you know, Sony's iToy, Kinect even. The hardest part is trying to convince gamers who really just want the console to now also buy this separate thing to play separate games, right?
Yeah.
And if you only have one or twosies of games, that's not going to attract a lot, right? Like you would literally have to have like a whole new separate library of just bangers to get people to be like, all right, I'm going to buy another hardware so I could play more games. Because that's the difficult part, convincing people to buy more hardware. A lot of people don't like to really buy more hardware. They just want to buy the hardware one time and now just give me the damn games. That's where most people care about. Sure, you have the hardcore that will buy 3, 4, or 5 pieces of hardware. But most gamers, they just want to buy one hardware and now just give me games. And then that's it.
We've had a guest here for a while. He's been quiet, or she's been quiet.
Ooh, who's up in here?
Just letting you know. Ramon.
Oh, shit, what's going on? Ramon. Damn, everybody's sneaking up. It's a celebration. Yo, Ramon, your Amazon approve your purchase, or they still messing with you?
Well, yeah, it was Best Buy.
Oh, Best Buy?
My the card that I use, because I use a business card for it, they approved like my controller, but then they held back on the game, so I don't know if they thought it was fraud or what. I was like, man, they better not.
They confused you for
so
an
anyway,
Xbox.
I switched cards, so
they confused you for
already
an Xbox.
everything is good.
No, they confuse you for an Xbox. Like, you don't care about games. We're gonna make sure you get this controller though.
Oh man! Oh man!
Man! Shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? That's what they thought. Like, oh wait, this is an Xbox guy. You just get him the controller. He'll be happy. He don't need no game. Yo. Oh shit, man. All right, man. Hey, I want to move on to. I want to skip one. I want to go because I know it's getting kind of late. So I really want to talk about this one last topic, right? So I don't know how to pronounce this magazine. Stevivor.
Oh, yes.
Oh God.
What's the proper name? He said, "Oh God, yeah, we're doing it. We're gonna jump right in. We're going in this low, right? So we're gonna jump in.
Is the name.
Stevivor.
Xvivor.
What is
X
it?
for Xbox. Xvivor.
Xvivor, right? Anyway, so they went on their annual "Woe Is Me." They went on their annual "Woe Is Me." They went out. They say, "Hey, where's our God of War review?" Like anyone's really asking for it, but they tell the community, you know, they put on Twitter that once again Sony is not answering them. They didn't get a copy, so they're gonna have to buy a copy, review the game, and then post a review and stuff like that and whatever. So I'm like, listen, bro, the only people that really care about your review is really Xbox fanboys. That's it. The PlayStation gamers don't care. Even if you give the game a 9 or a 10, we really don't care about your reviews, right? Really, your only worth is to appease fanboys that can use your review to weaponize it. Now, because of the situation that they're in, right? That they're not gonna get, they don't have an advanced copy, right? And I don't think it even has anything to do with it being free. I think if Sony says, "Hey, if you want an advanced copy, we'll allow you to buy it," they would do it. The real value they want is to get the review out before the game comes out, because that's when everybody pays attention to the reviews. Once the game is out, we're all gonna have it. We're all going to post game clips, and we're all going to formulate our opinion. We're going to ask each other. By that point, anybody who does a review after tonight, no one cares, right? So that's the real value. So the review is useless. It's like no one's going to care, but they need to trend. Now, let me ask you this. What are the odds you think this review site is going to give the game a 6.5 or 6? I think they're going to give it
very high.
No higher than 6.5, because anything higher than a 6.5 is pointless. No one's going to care if they give this review a 7, 8, 9, or even a perfect 10. Nobody. The only people that's paying attention to this review is those who are ready to use it as ammunition to say, Stevivor tells the truth. This is why Sony blacklisted him. That's their only value at this point. So in my opinion, we'll go down the line, but in my opinion, 6.5. I already see it. It's because if they give it anything higher than a 6.5, then the review is going to be that no one's even going to notice them. And then the fact that this game is one of the biggest games of the year and is trending everywhere and everybody's talking about it, they're going to want that clout. Blaze, what do you think? I think Blaze.
I mean, like really, like
what do you
so.
think?
By the time this guy reviews the game, it's like, yo, he's too late to the party, bro.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So he's got to do something, right? So he's got to come in with cocaine and like 3 naked bitches. Like you gotta show out.
You know, and the funny thing is, like, you know, even if he comes out like you said and he gives it a great score, nobody cares. If he gives it a negative score, people that have a brain, you know what I mean? Like, we know what's up, bro.
Yeah.
We know why you're giving it a negative score. You know what I mean? Like, but the fact that we're even, it's unfortunate. I know we got to get through this topic, but God, this magazine can like, I hope this magazine dies, bro.
yo, it's crazy. But watch, they're gonna start the console war over this shit, right? But the crazy part is we're gonna be playing these games and shit like that, and yo, it's wild, bro. How this shit's it's just wild. I think overall, and maybe we could expand on the topic. This generation, media has turned to shit when it comes to journalism. Like now, it's gotten so bad that reviewers have no problem. Like they have no problem telling gamers to our face that they don't even beat the games that they review.
Crazy.
That to me, I thought would be like, all right, we know, but you're not gonna admit it. No, there was one guy, he said that he's been reviewing games for 20 years and he could count on the palm of his hand how many of them he beat. And I'm like, yo, and you admitting that? Like, yo, they have no issues telling us, yeah, I hardly play these games, but I'm still gonna review it.
You know what's crazy? No, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just want to say quickly, what that exposes is the big stream media, like nobody really respects it nowhere. Like honestly, no offense to IGN and all, like nobody really go. Like I ain't going to no IGN. I'm going to like the homies. Like y'all played that? Oh, that was good. That was fire. All right, I'm gonna trust their, because I know they're not paid off. I know they're just gonna say what it is. You know what I mean? Like that's what's going on, bro.
Yeah.
And that perfectly highlights the fact that word of mouth is the single most powerful marketing that is.
Facts.
Yep.
I was going to add to what P Rock said, and like they have no problem saying these outlandish statements, but also a lot of them are coming out or have come out in the past few years as being overly biased towards a specific platform, and you see a lot of them be towards the green side rather than the blue side. It makes you wonder which company is trying to interact a lot with these reviewers and get them free stuff to promote their stuff for free.
The thing that I find baffling is why not just devote your site to reviewing Xbox games? There's nothing wrong with that. Like, just review on the platform that you prefer. Because, I could be wrong, but everything I've seen of Stevivor says that they prefer Xbox. And there's nothing wrong with that. Mm-hmm. But why not just review all Xbox games instead of reviewing Xbox games high, whether they deserve it or not, and then just dumping on PlayStation games and being completely transparent for what you are? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, be like Windows Central, just
exactly.
Do Xbox stuff.
So someone in the chat said promoting what, because they haven't released good games. When I meant promoting, let me clarify. I mean just like be a fanboy, basically. Like I don't know their names. I don't really care. But those people that clearly are on IGN, for example, and they're clearly Xbox people and they're always hating on PlayStation, those type of influencers, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And it's just like everything, like between the reviewers saying they don't beat games, the shit that, and this shocked me, Adam Sessler not managing his own show. Like, that tripped me out when Foreskin or Foruskin, whatever she called herself. Yo, when she said all those crazy shit and Adam Sessler just did nothing.
He said Foreskin, wow.
Yo, when Adam Sessler said nothing, that's when I like, this shit's over. Like, industry's dead. If Adam Sessler,
he clapped.
When Adam Sessler won't even put this shit in check, then who do you go to at this point? Like, he was the one that usually would put shit in check and just make sure that the facts and information was just on a steady. Like, I can understand she's making all this crazy shit, but I expect him to be like, whoa. One, the Hogwarts Legacy is not an exclusive. If you remember, it was actually shown on State of Play. That should have been the first thing on his mouth, because she said that was exclusive. That should have been the first thing on his mouth, saying, it's not exclusive. Yeah.
Or someone behind camera be like, yo, you're wrong. Correct yourself.
That would have been me. I would have been the camera guy, and then I would have went in front of camera like it would have been like this. She would have said it, and I would have been like, yo, I would have been like, yo, who's that camera guy? I would have been like, shit, this ain't it, chief. Like, that would have been the first thing. Like, one, Hogwarts Legacy is not exclusive. If you remember, it was actually shown on State of Play. That's number one. Number two, Sony does have some games coming out. You know, they're going to be talking about, you know, for Forbidden West, potentially God of War. So you might want to, you know, run that back and wait and see on a lot of this stuff. Nothing. Yeah. All he said was, oh, you're going to get a lot of Sony fanboys angry at you. Like, what?
And clapped. He was clapping.
Yeah. Like, what? Like, that's your, on your own show, you're just going to be like, no, Sony fanboys, stay away from me. No. How about you correct her and put the show back on track? No, he did nothing. And, yo, she just let that shit get out of control. Everybody was going at her. So then she started saying that it was sexism and, you know, she's not there to show her titties. And I'm like, I don't think anybody is saying we want to see her titties. Like, we just want her to say, we just said we want her to say facts, not show ass. Like, I don't know what the translation was missed.
What I think is that he knew that bringing back G4 was a mistake, and that's why he didn't do shit about it. Because he was like, I'm just gonna let this die. Because who really goes to G4 anymore for anything really? Like, there's YouTube already. There's Twitch if you want to watch someone play a game. There's Twitter for the people that you follow that talk about video games. You know, so it's
to me, there was a place, because if you go to YouTube, let's say like YouTube, there's a lot of big content creators and they're great, right? But a lot of them is not backed by the industry. You know, a lot of them do not have the Kojima. They don't have access to, Jeff Keighley. They don't have access to that. Adam Sessler could have been that show that once again that can actually get a developer on stage. That's true. From the big games and have the real conversations, right? Like, he technically could have been the one to actually get the Gotham devs at his show to explain why the game's 30 FPS. You mean no like fanboy bullshit, straight from the developer's mouth on my show. You know?
Like what?
Wups is, believe it or not, Wups is the closest one, believe it or not, right? But you know, but he has access to all those people. Like YouTube, from what I'm seeing, guys like Dustin Laguerre, Tom Warren, they're trying to be like professional console fanboys, but y'all suck because y'all not funny. Like, there's an art to this shit. Like, there's a method to the madness in Console Warring, and you guys are boring. Like, don't do what we do because you suck at it. Do what you do. Get the professionalism out, get access to the people, and just have the real conversations, because we can't do that. I could talk shit all day. I could take multiple informations and twist the hell out of it for Console Warring. I don't need you to do that. I need you to get the real people on your platform, straight from the industry, ask the tough questions. If it makes Xbox look bad, oh the fuck well. You didn't create Xbox. Phil Spencer did. That's his fault. If you get developers on your show and they tell you, yeah, we having problems with Xbox Series S, gamers need to hear that. Don't hide it from us just because you want a free chair. No, you guys are the ones that have access to it. And if we're wrong, then get the developers, the big AAA developers, get them from Ubisoft and have them tell us, hey, gamers, you're wrong. Xbox Series S is not going to hold back gaming. We're making this, that, and that. Okay, fine, then we're wrong. But get somebody to do it. Don't coddle the companies. And I thought G4 TV was going to do that. But once I saw that shit, I'm like, oh, this shit's dead. This show's not going to last by the end of the year. Because they're Console Warring, and she sucks. Like, if you're going to do that, hire me and J-Dub. And next gen, trust me, we'll get you your views if you want a console war. You want console war money? We got you. we can, you know what I'm saying? At least, get the little guy who knows how to console war up in there. You know what I'm saying? You put 100 live on that motherfucker, you're gonna get your views.
Hey, P-Rock, I just want to jump in real quick. I just wanted to jump in really briefly to tell everybody happy God of War Day tomorrow, to the panel and to the chat. Let's enjoy this game and this swan song to 2022. You guys have a good night. I got to get back to recording this stuff. Oh, shit. But I just wanted to drop in to say, hey, and happy God of War Day.
Oh, what about N7? Yeah, what about N7?
Ain't nobody give a fuck about that bullshit, man. Get out of here with that bullshit. Ain't nobody. It ain't bigger than God of War. Ain't nobody. Man, Captain Shepard's dead. Ain't nobody talking about him.
My Shepard survived.
He's dead.
He's a commander, not a captain.
He said Captain Shepard, bro. Let's go play Sea of Thieves.
Get out of here. He trying to find the Kraken that's lacking. Shit, man.
I could talk in 7 day with you, man. But
and 7 day was yesterday too, right?
Yeah,
I hardly seen any tweets on that.
Well, you
no, it was actually.
It was big.
actually huge. Yeah, they put out a tease, and the whole community started deciphering like a message and some crazy shit. But it was
It's gonna be like a
them.
backpack or some bullshit.
It was basically like a new type of Cerberus was making this more advanced mass relay, and it's theorized that it's actually connecting to either a new system within the Milky Way or outside the Milky Way, or a new system in Andromeda.
Yes,
Repeat that in English, please.
They're connecting to
in
Andromeda.
English.
Andromeda's
In English,
trash.
okay. So basically, they're making
They're making a new robot, and that robot is doing what?
No, it's not a robot. It's basically like a slingshot, but it actually can slingshot you through space and actually through other galaxies.
Also, like No Man's Sky, they're copying No Man's Sky.
Is BioWare gonna make it? Oh, No Man's Sky, right? Oh shit!
Yeah, they're copying Starfield. They're copying Starfield, the template.
No,
this is.
You're never gonna hear. You will never hear.
This is gonna be an NFT. That's it. It's gonna be an NFT from EA.
Mass Effect game is a good series though. The trilogy, not Andromeda.
Yeah.
You know, since we're on EA, let me switch it up right now.
When they connect to Andromeda with the Milky Way, that game will be phenomenal.
Yeah, it's gonna be trash.
That game will be.
It's gonna be trash. It's gonna be trash.
They're basically gonna try to fix.
My face is tired. Part 2.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we never got over that. Trust me.
No.
Let me ask you something. Let me add something new since we're talking about this. Why do you guys think about EA having now deal with Marvel for 3 IPs, with the first one being an actual Iron Man game?
That's fine.
Opium.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's my answer.
That's fine.
Because
go ahead, Messiah. Speak up. Or we'll start.
They went through a lot of shit, right? In the past with Star Wars and all that other stuff. But lately, you've seen them give developers more of like a leeway to do whatever they want, and I think it has to do with Vincent Pella taking over a lot of the studios or like overseeing it. So you see, like the people from Need for Speed are actually making a game they want to make. Battlefield, even though it messed up, like they're investing more money into them making different IPs in the Battlefield franchise and so on. Obviously, FIFA will be FIFA. So, and now with BioWare, they're making Mass Effect, and they're actually, letting the developers do whatever the hell they wanted to do, and not freaking Anthem, a live service game from a studio that only makes RPGs.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
they gotta get it off of.
I say the word is hopium because they haven't proven anything to us.
Okay.
But they have somewhat done so through their internal studios in the past 2-3 years. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. All right. Hey, Craig, what do you think about that?
Good.
Oh no, I think it's fine. I mean, people got to remember Marvel Games it's its own entity, and if EA pitched them something and they're okay with it, I mean, again, Marvel, I mean, they do have a good deal with Sony, and Sony's going to develop 2 more games, but yeah, I don't have an issue with it. I'm looking forward to the Black Panther Captain America game.
From who though? Is it from them?
I don't know who. No. I'm that other studio.
Them.
I think it's Amy Hennig.
Yeah.
I think it's her studio.
Yeah.
So I just mean Marvel Games is different. Right? It's separate. They have their own CEO, COO. So I don't have an issue with it. I think it could be okay. I think they'll be fine. They can just do some separate games and then build up to one big game. I think that'll be fine. So,
all right, Cloak.
It's more games.
What do you think about Cloak? EA with a 3-game deal with Marvel IPs.
When I think of that, I think of how EA is different from how we knew EA before. Like in what was it, 20? When did they start canceling? When did they start getting or shutting down studios? When was Viceroy Studios shut down? Was it 2015?
2016,
17?
Yeah, 2016. So EA of now is very, very different from the EA of then. Back then, they would not even greenlight some of the stuff. They probably wouldn't even greenlight most of the Marvel games because it's just I think all 3 of them are single player games, right? I don't think any of them are live services.
Which one? The Marvel IPs?
I think it was like the 3 Marvel IPs were actually single player games.
Well, they didn't mention any specifics of how they're gonna handle
it.
We only know the first one was confirmed to be Iron Man. We don't know the other.
Iron Man before too.
I don't even know. That would definitely have to be a single player game. I don't know how to make that a live service. But anyway, that's EA. But what I'm thinking, how I see EA now, is completely different from EA was back then. They would not even greenlight another Dead Space remake because they didn't like it. They didn't think it would make money. But
And
now we got no one calling.
Yeah,
we got Dead Space remake coming in next year.
It's Vincent Pella, bro. Vincent Pella told the freaking CEO, "Shut up and let me do my job, and you'll see you're gonna make money." And they're starting making money.
J-Dub,
the right way.
What do you think?
Yep.
You know, Marvel in the hands,
okay,
Marvel,
man, but
a portion of Marvel in the hands of EA.
I think they'll be okay, but I'm gonna be honest, man. After seeing Insomniac handle Marvel games, I don't see why they would take that business over to EA. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they can't do it all. Like there's so many Marvel IPs that it's just Sony can't take over the entire Marvel project. They can't take over the Marvel project.
I mean,
you know, you can only hope for the best that somebody will do right by the franchise and stuff. I think they have already some things in play, like, because I always said Anthem felt like what an Iron Man game would be.
It did.
Because the flight mechanics was great, the combat was great. They really nailed it. If there's not a lot to be proud of or to hype up when it comes to Anthem, but the one thing you can hype up was the gameplay. How you were able to fight on the land and just shoot up in the air and still fight, and how that flowed easily. That was impressive. And that game made me wish there was an actual Iron Man game, because I'm like, man, if there was an Iron Man game like this, that shit would be amazing, right? So I'll give them that.
That's funny that you bring that up, because if you read the Anthem expose by Jason Schreier, they said in the expose that the flight mechanic was actually pulled out of their ass right at the last minute.
Wow, that's fucking
wow.
Then they got lucky.
Yeah,
they got lucky.
They did. They were just like, okay, let's just put flying in here, because they had no idea what they were making.
That's
they literally didn't.
Yeah.
Because they got the flying thing right.
Rebuilt a bunch of times.
They got the flying thing right. That was good. Flying.
The flying thing felt very like a complete.
It was good,
in my opinion.
It was good. They did a real good job going under the water and traversing. They hit it off.
Yeah, they had the different suits, the different mechs, so they all flew differently because of their weight and stuff, or they felt differently. So they can definitely probably not Bioware, but a different studio take that technology and make a good Iron Man game.
Yeah. You know, I mean, but I could see, Jado, I could see where your hesitation is, because Insomniac took comic book gaming to a whole new peak. I think, to me, you got to give props to Rocksteady. With Batman Arkham, they were the first ones to try to take an actual comic game and make it a AAA, and they did. You know, was nominated for a bunch of Game of the Year awards. Batman Arkham Asylum was amazing, and then the franchise just became great. So they were the first ones to, you know, hey, you can make a great AAA game out of these comics. You ain't got to treat them like cash cows. You know, but the industry still didn't believe it. You know, the industry looked at, you know, Rocksteady and Batman Arkham Cities as the exception and not the norm. So everybody's like, all right, congratulations, Rocksteady, but you probably got lucky, you know, with this franchise. Then Insomniac came, right? And now they're like, okay, wait a minute. Like, yo, like, this is crazy. Like, these motherfuckers got a game that's probably already surpassed sales of other games. You know, they like just two games already sold 33 million. Just between Spider-Man and Miles Morales, that's already at 33 million copies franchise. To put that in perspective, Gears of War is at 40 million. All the Gears of War, going back to 2006 combined, the franchise is 40 million. Two Spider-Mans made by Insomniac is at 33 million. And that was from like a year ago when they were counting. We don't know where it's at now. And never mind when Spider-Man 2 drops. Shit. You know what I'm saying? So now
Wolverine
the
is going to be M for mature, right?
Yeah. What?
Wolverine is going to be M for mature?
Oh, shit, I guess.
Yes, it's a mature. Yeah, it's mature rated. Yep.
That's going to be.
That's going to be bloody.
Yeah, it's going to be blood everywhere.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, guys, it was good chopping up with you. I gotta go take care of my pops, man.
All right, man.
It's good. It's always good chopping up with you.
Don't be a stranger, brother. Don't be a stranger.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely.
All right. You know the door is always open.
Especially when God of War wins Game of the Year. We need that J-Dub back on Twitter.
Hey, you know I'm gonna be here.
Yeah, hope your dad's doing well too.
All right.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Y'all take care.
Yeah, for sure.
Take care.
Peace.
You know, But that's, so I think the combination of what Rocksteady started and what Insomniac brought to the table, I think now more and more people are trying to take advantage of AAA level comic books. But I think Square Enix is like the first example of doing it wrong. Because Avengers, man, they focus too much on the lives. Because I played it, and I played it a lot. But they focus too much on the live as a service, and in my opinion, they wasted an opportunity to have an amazing Avengers story that they could have made like at least a trilogy out of it. They could have easily made a trilogy out of that story instead of this one-time live as a service, and then they think perpetually it would just keep going, make money. I think they would have been more successful sticking with the story narrative, and they would have easily could have created their own like trilogy Avengers story. And
correct me if I'm wrong, but that was like Square Enix's call to make a game like that. The developers actually they don't have experience on making a game like it.
Yeah, it was Square Enix's
want to
call.
make it.
Yeah, the developers weren't multiplayer game lives as a service developers. They always made story-driven games. Tomb Raider, Deus Ex.
What was it?
That was their thing.
Was it Crystal Dynamics?
This one, I think, is Crystal Dynamics. Yeah. So this one's Tomb Raider guys. So they know story-driven. They know how storytelling.
Guardians, and then you see Guardians, which is a stark contrast to what Avengers was.
And it was great.
And
it was
you see
more well received.
And it sucks too because
it's a great game.
Felt similar.
It
felt similar to Titanfall 1 to Titanfall 2. Yeah. Titanfall 1 was pretty good, but people had so many issues that people didn't really like it. Yeah. So when Titanfall 2 came out, people weren't rocking with it. Same thing with Guardians. Guardians, I like it took a while for it to like really pick up the steam because Avengers tainted Square Enix as a hero making company. So it took word of mouth.
Guardians is a really
Avengers
great
was
game.
Too much of a it was a bang 'em up. Avengers it was all it was. You just went around and
it's a looter shooter. It's like a beat 'em up shooter. I mean, it's a looter beat 'em up game.
Yeah, I thought it was a good idea, but I just there were parts of it I did like, but the story I liked the Miss Marvel character stuff like that.
The storytelling ain't there. Like the storytelling is just simply a quick cutscene on the ship, but then you go back and replay the same mission, but this time you just have to collect more resources or exit. No, it's like that's not storytelling. Like playing the same map over and over to advance the story. No, like they really wasted an amazing opportunity to provide an Avengers story that could have been killer, man. It's just
and then upgrading Hulk's rib cage.
To as a in his fists and stuff like that. It was just weird.
Yeah,
and you really and then another thing, like all the characters didn't really complement each other. Like you could have just picked anybody and then just play the game and beat the board. Like it really didn't matter who you picked. It didn't really they didn't design it. At least if they would have made where you have to kind of pick certain guys for complementary capabilities, but no, you can have 4 Captain Americas. Everybody can pick 4.
And I know that there was probably like some sort of law, probably like some sort of time, but like you're telling me that you could not actually get the actors and actresses from the Marvel movies to play these characters.
Expensive.
So one, I think that, and I know that was a huge complaint, but I think the game is supposed to be intended as part of its own world, not part of the movie. It's not supposed to tie into the movie. It's supposed to be an original. It's like Spider-Man. Right? It's like Spider-Man. Yeah. Spider-Man's not part of any of the movie or even any of the cartoons. It's its own universe that's supposed to be created from the ground up.
Even if it were, like Spider-Man can be anybody. Yeah. As you can see with Miles Morales and now with this Peter Parker. It's not really trying to replicate the MCU Peter Parker because you mostly see a mask, right? So and that's another stain that Avengers got because Avengers the movies were so popular that when they announced this,
it did look weird.
Were like, "Yo, I'm gonna see freaking Tony Stark, the movie Tony Stark." Yeah. And people were like, "Who are these freaking?"
But it's not supposed to be the
Troy
movie.
Baker,
Bollywood ass actors. What is this?
Yeah, it's not supposed to be the movie though. But I know a lot of people complain about it because they wanted the actual movie cast to be the thing, but it's not. Avengers, this is supposed to be its own universe.
Yeah, but you felt the
even Thor talked weird, right? A lot of people like, man, Thor talks weird, but that's how he's supposed to talk. He's an Asgardian. That's how they talk.
That's basically. I think that was his dialect in the comics, and they also translated that to one of the cartoon shows.
Yeah.
But
if you watch the cartoon shows, they talk the same. He talks the same way, like the Irish Guardian.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
But one thing I do want, and this is actually comic book accurate, is the fact that if they make the Wolverine game, I want Captain America in that game, because in the comics they fought together in World War II.
Yeah, they did.
They did.
Yeah.
And I was wanting to see that in the Captain America movie. There was no cameo. I was pissed.
Oh, for the Captain America movie? Oh, that's because at the time they didn't have X-Men though.
Yeah, they didn't.
It used to be on the Fox.
No, they didn't have it was actually Logan enlisted, and he still had his bone claws at that time. And he fought alongside.
Oh no, but in the movies, the people in the movies they didn't have the rights. So like when
I know they didn't.
Yeah, so they couldn't
just go down.
Yeah, they couldn't cameo Captain America, and Wolverine couldn't cameo. Now they can, and I think somehow Marvel's gonna find a way, to merge everything and stuff like that. But
they're doing that now with Quantum Mania. Yeah. That's what's happening.
Yeah. So before it's gonna be interesting though, because there's an Easter egg in the Wolverine trailer. I think we talked about this before, but just in case if some people are new to the channel or don't know, but if you look in the Wolverine trailer where he's at the bar, there's a license plate that says HLK, I think it's 181, which represents the Hulk issue 181, and it's the one where Wolverine fights the Hulk and stuff like that. So people are like, wait a minute, is Hulk gonna be in this game? Does Insomniac have rights to the Hulk? Like, that's a crazy teaser trailer.
My understanding is you could see Wolverine or some Wolverine Easter eggs in the Spider-Man 2 game. Awesome.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be. I have no doubt. I have no doubt they're gonna link somehow. Which
I hope that Spider-Man 2 or Wolverine takes notes from what is it called, Ultimate Spider-Man, that cartoonish GameCube game, because they had a lot of cameos. They had freaking that fire guy from Fantastic Four. It had Venom, obviously. It had Wolverine as well. Wolverine fought Venom in that game, so it had a lot of cameos of other characters or other superheroes or villains. So I hope that Spider-Man 2 brings more of that, but more exterior heroes or villains, not just like the ones that are within the Spider-Man storyline. That'd be cool.
So now let me show you something. So I was talking to a friend, right? He's also into game. He's into gaming, whatever.
Thank you,
right?
Ryan.
So when I brought up, the teaser egg, right? Of because obviously, Insomniac got Spider-Man, so we both knew that. Insomniac got Wolverine, we all know that. And then with the teaser, with that little Easter egg with the Hulk license plate, let's say, what if Insomniac got the Hulk as well, right? So I was like, man, that would be cool. And then he's like, wait a minute. He goes, hey, are you familiar with the Fantastic Four that Spider-Man and Wolverine had to do? And I'm like, yeah. And Hulk was part of that, right? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, what if they got Ghost Rider too? And I'm thinking, for the people that aren't, if people don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to share my screen. So as you can see here, this was Fantastic Four at one point. You know what I'm saying? Spider-Man, Wolverine, Hulk, and Ghost Rider. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So what if, granted it's a fantasy, but what if Insomniac got Ghost Rider as well? Right? And you got your Insomniac story, you got your Wolverine story, Hulk, Ghost Rider, and then eventually they all merge into a new Fantastic Four IP, and this is like a long-term strategy. That shit would be crazy.
You have to also think that Spider-Man, PS4, and Miles Morales is like their first, it's like their foundation for these superhero games, right?
Like Iron Man was for the MCU.
Yeah, exactly. So I expect Spider-Man 2 to go into high gear when it comes to just fan service and crazy shit. I say the same thing with Wolverine, because Spider-Man is like a T for teen, but Wolverine is going to be that M for mature, bloody, and all, probably not gory, but very bloody. So I expect Insomniac to like really let loose and just go all out with these games.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, man, that would be that will blow the gaming industry wide open. Look at this, bro. Imagine a game like this.
And the only thing that we can only accept, we would only accept this game if Nicolas Cage voiced Ghost Rider.
Oh shit, right? Oh, that would be a good cameo. Yeah, that would be a great cameo. But look at this shit. That shit will be, that shit will be wild. If they pull that off.
If they remake a Ghost Rider live action movie, I would want Norman Reedus to play as Ghost Rider.
He would be
Daryl from Walking Dead.
He would be a good one. In fact, that was and I'm sure he's coming back. I'm sure they're gonna bring him back.
Speaking of cameos, I was kind of like upset that Northern North was in the Uncharted movie because I was like, bro, it should have been him or that other guy, that other actor that looks a lot like Nathan Drake from the video games.
I know what you're talking about.
Like he made like a little like Nathan Fillion. Yeah, exactly. It should have been him. And then when he goes to the beach, he sees Northern North. He's like, wait, oh shit,
I saw that fan made trailer. I'm like, oh my god, make this now, please.
That's the game. Like, that's literally what it should have been. It's a good movie. Yes. It's a good movie mostly if you haven't played the games. But if you did, like the actor, I forgot his name already, but he does a lot of oh god, oh crap, and I'm like, bro, it's so like forced.
Does that know? Are you imitating Nolan North?
Hey, P-Rock, I gotta bounce out. I got a big day tomorrow. I gotta go pick up God of War.
Oh shit! Everybody's ready for that.
Well, I do. So.
Listen, bro. I'm sorry, but Han Solo dies in the game. Okay.
Oh shit!
Oh, damn.
Han Solo shot first. I mean, hey, there's already fan art for Norman Reedus and Ghost Rider.
Oh, wow.
I mean, he would do it. This doesn't make sense.
Like a very dark.
This one don't make sense because this is Robbie Reyes. This Ghost Rider version.
Dante, they don't own it, but they might get licensed for it.
They don't own Ghost Rider? Who owns Ghost Rider? Not? I thought they owned Ghost Rider.
Someone asked if Sony owns Ghost Rider. Do they?
No. Do they? No,
I thought that's still Fox. I thought that was still. I thought like Fox bought most of. I think it's under Fox. I think it is.
Who owns Ghost Rider movie rights?
The movie rights are owned by Sony Pictures. That's one.
Oh, Columbia. Wait, see, is it Columbia Pictures? Oh, and Columbia Pictures falls under Sony. Oh.
Yeah, because like IP rights, there's
Sony
IP
owns
rights,
Ghost Rider
rights, and then there is
but
game
movie,
rights.
Yeah, but for the movie rights, Sony owns Ghost Rider. Which means they're gonna have to release a Ghost Rider movie at a certain point. They have no choice.
But since when have they owned that?
They always owned it, I guess. I just never realized it. It was because Columbia Pictures owned it, but Columbia Pictures is a sub whatever of Sony movie studios.
Yeah, it's like Vizio and Bravia.
No shit, right? Yeah, no shit, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I didn't. Yeah, so the reality is
that. Yeah, go ahead.
For Sony to keep the ownership, they're gonna have to make a movie every so often. The moment,
but they haven't. It's been so long.
But that means it's coming soon.
Bro, but when was the last Ghost Rider movie? What? That was like before 2010, right?
Yeah. They're gonna have to.
Dante Merlo, the Sony. There was a Ghost Rider game.
It was 07.
But it was for the PSP.
Yeah, it was like the one based on the movie.
Yes.
So the
I think it was only for the PSP.
Or the rights for Ghost Rider are different from from Spider-Man, because Spider-Man they had to be consistent with the movies. With this, it doesn't seem like it.
This was saying, there's an article that says Ghost Rider movie rights returns to Marvel. Movie rights to Ghost Rider has reverted.
That was 2013.
Yeah, 2013. So did it go back to Marvel now? Can we reveal Columbia Pictures? Oh, it says no longer controls the property during. Oh, okay. So it's back to Marvel. That's probably why Sony hasn't made a new one. He added the reversion did not mean the studio would necessarily put a Ghost Rider into film. Okay, so they own Ghost Rider. is back with
so
them.
that makes more sense.
That's probably why Sony. Yeah, that's why it's been so long.
Yeah.
Since we've seen a Ghost Rider movie, Sony just like, yeah, we ain't doing this no more.
I can see them licensing it for the game, like someone in the chat. Was talking about.
Yeah.
There was we're forgetting that we're not we're remembering the movie, but they also made a Ghost Rider TV show.
Yeah, and I think that's on the Marvel because this article said that it went back to Marvel in 2013. So it wasn't a Ghost Rider TV show. It was the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And then like season 3 or 4, I guess the show wasn't doing so good the way it was. So then they started introducing actual Marvel characters. So Ghost Rider, Robbie Reyes. It was actually Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider that was in that.
Yeah, because you ever when you think of Ghost Rider, you think of a biker guy.
That's Johnny Blaze.
Johnny Blaze. Yeah. But that's what I think. It's just like when someone says to me Ghost Rider, I just think of the guy. I just think of the biker guy.
Yeah, John Blaze. Yeah, Johnny Blaze. The one in the show was Robbie Reyes, the other Ghost Rider character.
He was what kind of car did he drive?
It was like a GTO.
I can't remember, but it was a pretty nice car. But it's just like when I see Ghost Rider, I just like I don't see him driving that type of car.
Blaze, yeah. You want the motorcycle?
Speaking of movies and shows, I don't mean to like keep postponing the ending of the stream too long, but that Gears of War movie or show, whatever it is on Netflix.
I'm actually excited for that. Yeah, I'm actually excited for that. I'm actually excited I'm excited for the show. They gotta put Batista in it. He was born for that.
Sure.
He's born for that.
He is Mark and Phoenix.
He was born for that role, man. If they don't put him, then the show's a flop. You gotta put that man in there, man.
I do not know who will be Dom. And the guy who would actually be the best Coltrane is dead.
No. There's an actor that he's Hispanic too, and he would do a really good Dom. I gotta find him. Hold on.
Who is the guy? He played I can't remember his name, but he died. I think it was in 2014. He played on the island, but he was one of his most famous roles was in The Green Mile.
Oh, Clark Duncan.
Yes.
He was also in the movie Daredevil. He was
Kingpin.
Wait, Kingpin?
Yeah.
That guy?
He was Kingpin.
Yes, he did. Yes,
he's been
Yeah, but wait, but he Dom is like tan.
Yeah.
No. I'm talking about Coltrane.
Oh, okay.
And then any white asshole can be Baird.
Yeah. But definitely Batista needs to be in there.
Yeah, he has to be Marcus Phoenix.
Yeah, that's he was born for, and he has the epic, and he has the character model body shape.
Yeah, he was in Gears 5 too. They like scanned him in the game.
Yeah, he has that body shape. Michael Clark Duncan. That's the guy's name.
Yeah. I got the guy. Raul Castillo. Have you heard of that guy?
No. What movie?
Yeah. Let me look him up. Actually, I found him.
Chris Pratt could be Baird.
He was that guy. That guy can do a really good Dom. I feel like
he needs to bulk up. But I see who you're talking about.
Yeah, he does. He does.
He's gonna have to. I mean, he could. I mean, hell, freaking.
Someone
Christian Bale does it. Christian Bale could go from like 90 pounds and bulk up to like 235. That shit's impossible. I don't know how the fuck he did it.
People said John Berthel could be a Dom as well. I can't see that.
Probably. Toppy left said Tom Holland as Dom.
Oh my god, bro! Terry Crews as fucking Cole.
There's not enough steroids. Perfect. There's not enough steroids in the world for Tom Holland to him. And Kevin Hart as Coltrane. No, this is gonna be a comedy now. Like
someone said Dominic Purcell as Marcus Phoenix. I don't see that.
Oh shit!
Like, but it's Batista for sure.
That's Batista. He owns that role. He owns him. Just like cancel production. If you ain't gonna put him in, just cancel production. Just do the anime. He said Kevin Hart as Coltrane. That shit will be fucking hilarious.
Look, someone said John Travolta as Marcus Phoenix.
Oh shit! Now
look at the general chat in Discord.
Like, this is getting ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm gonna hop off. Thank you for.
All
thank
right,
you for
hey guys, hey, we're gonna
close
close out the show, man. We running late.
Yeah. Hit the like, please.
Hit the like button. Go out there, boot up your PlayStation 5s. Go enjoy yourself some Call of Duty, some God of War. Get up in there. You know, my time's coming up soon. But anyway, hey, thank you so much. I'm sorry for the late start. Comment sections will be off for this one again. I don't want no spoilers, but back next week, all the comments will be on, and then at that point, if your shit gets spoiled, you should have been playing the game. Sorry, you know. But anyway, I love you guys. Thank you so much for rocking out. Thank you for supporting the channel. Membership is available if you choose to rock out and be part of the 60 Frames Don't Like family. And don't forget to hit the like button. And don't forget to subscribe. I will see you guys next week, and I'll post up a video here or there too throughout the week. Thank you so much. You guys take care. Your only friend is YouTube Streets. We're out of here.